ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL,
Hello everybody and welcome to the ESL Challenger League. European action rolls on in our second cup as Mana will take on Nemiga in our matchup today here on ESL TV. My name's Eternal J. I'm joined by the Teddy Bears who bring you through this lower bracket action. How are you doing today, man?
Of course, man. Of course, the first time you address me will be as a teddy bear, Jamie. I'm doing lovely. I'm really looking forward to today. I think we've got some good Counter-Strike to watch. It's a Sunday evening. What better to be doing on a Sunday evening than watching some good old Counter-Strike, especially now that we're getting into the deep end, so to speak, of the second cup for Europe in the Challenger League. So, yeah, I feel like all these games have a lot on stake. All these teams have a lot to play for, and I'm really looking forward to today's matchup.
Yeah, indeed, and especially considering today is going to be the lower bracket proceedings of the bracket. Therefore, it's all elimination for all the teams involved. It's not about glory, it's about survival in proceedings. We'll take a look at how the bracket looks at the moment. This is how uppers are at the present time. K27 and Nemesis and One Win and Ursa are all involved for grand final positions, or upper bracket final positions at the very least, as they'll be doing battle in tomorrow's proceedings. Today, again, like I mentioned, all about the survivalists involved in the proceedings. And, you know, with them, as you say earlier, this is the deeper end, the business end, as we like to say in the UK, of the season. It's all about importance for these 8 teams involved.
Yeah, it really is, right? And we've got just a couple of teams left. We've got the Musketeers taking on Sango, and of course the game that we're going to be watching here on the ESLCS stream is going to be Nemiga taking on Mana. We've got the Balkan boys, the Kosovian guys, starting in from round 1 of the lower bracket. Jay, they've been able to get consecutive wins. Of course, one FF win to kind of help them get through, right? But all in all, they've been playing some very good Counter-Strike. And then on the lower side of the lower bracket, we've got TDK, we've got Havu, X-Ruby, and State. There's been a lot of interesting results, all in all, in this event. Even though, you know, State did lose to the Los Cogutos, they keep going with the fight because of, you know, some FF shenanigans. So there is a couple second chances that have been provided to some of these teams.
Indeed, and maybe we'll get to see how those second chances will pan out as the bracket rolls on. 4 matches playing simultaneously, so if you want to check those out, community streams are ongoing. But again, the official coverage today is on Nemiga versus Mana. And I have to say that a lot of these matches, I take a look at them and I say that there's probably a decent amount of favoritism for one particular side. And I think that that's a very similar case here in this one. I'd say this one arguably is the most competitive of the 4 we have today. But make no mistakes here, Nemiga are walking into this one as a very key favorite.
No, they absolutely are, right? And I think after last year making top 16 at the Austin Major, I feel like Nemiga was up on the radar of a lot of people. Now, obviously, they did lose Sway to Spirit, right? And that was a big hit, especially after they lost Flamus to Gamer Legion prior to signing Sway. And now they've gone through a mass rebuild. Lear and Khan are the only 2 players left from last year. You've got Box as the coach, and I mean, the IGO and the coach were even removed at the start of the year, and then they were returned back. So there's been a lot of changes, a lot of going through the motions for the side of Nemiga, even risky Bob trying to be an IGO for a little bit. But now I feel like they're right back on the right track. They've won 2 events in the last 1 month, and they've been playing some very good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, on the contrast, Mana haven't been quite as involved in the higher ends of the Tier 2 space compared, as you mentioned, a couple of wins in the BCK Masters and the A1 Gaming League, as well as some LAN appearances in ranked tournaments. Mana, very, very low levels. The only real good tournament they've been a part of outside of ECL has been that Draculan season, and even that was an outside of the top 12, or top 8 rather. So like for Mana, it really is a David versus Goliath situation for them. On the lineup on paper, doesn't really have the same amount of chops, the same amount of experience, and the same amount of like individual firepower and talent compared to the opposition force of Nemiga, which is definitely going to be a major consideration for them. I would usually analyze a veto right here, but even in the context of the favoritism for Nemiga, I'm not sure there's much that Mana can do to try and steer that in their direction.
I don't think there is, right? Because Nemiga have such a deep map pool. They don't play Inferno, and then everything else I feel like they can punish Mana on potentially. Mana probably go for the Mirage pick in a scenario like this. Inferno and Overpass being the bans, this is one that we could kind of see coming. I even feel like the Overpass is a bit of a surprise because now you're leaving Anubis open if you're Mana. So this is potentially something that Nemiga could go for. They'll go for the comfortable pick of Enshin. The Mirage should come through for the Balkan side of things. I'd actually be very surprised if Mana don't remove Anubis in that second veto phase and they let it they let it slip for a potential third. Now, they did play it once at Draculan and they won it 13-4 against Laguna. But if they decide to go over to Anubis, this is potentially a massive challenge against Nemiga on one of their better maps, and that's exactly what they've decided to go for. I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited. I really hope we get to see that third map.
I mean, I hope so too, just because I like to see competitive matches, but are we realistic to think that there's going to happen here for the Mana side? They are so low ranked compared to Nemiga, who, you know, they're not so high ranked to be in a major race, but they are still like such a good, powerful side, 2 tournament wins as of late. And even thinking about the map veto process, I mean, like Nuke and Anubis are very, very like non-comparable for Mana compared towards Nemiga in terms of win rates, in terms of play rates, in terms of level of competition. I mean, you mentioned Nemiga's deeper map pool. They've got a decent number of maps of both Nuke and Anubis being played.
Jay, listen. This is online Counter-Strike. We've got a Balkan team here. You've got a Balkan caster. I will try my best to make it sound like these guys have somewhat of a fighting chance. Now, in reality, are we expected to see more than 2 maps? Probably not. But I would say that objectively, when you're talking about a Balkan mix of players that can shoot hard, maybe don't have as deep of a playbook, but every now and then can play some good Counter-Strike, these guys on a good day could potentially pick up a map. Now, are they usually playing against the same level of opposition as Nemiga's playing against? Are they used to playing against the teams of the caliber of Nemiga? Probably not. You could make a point, right? They usually start their participations in tournaments from the close qualifiers. They get a couple wins. They go to the main event. Things don't really work out. This is a very young team who I think is on the right path to success when it comes down to the conversation about Mana and their learning experience throughout 2026. And when I say young, I am pretty aware that even average age-wise, Nemiga is the younger team, but in terms of experience, Mana don't really have a lot on the highest level of online Counter-Strike, bar Center, who joined at the start of this year, right? So when you're looking at guys like Bledart, like Kaylee, like Server, like Hamar that have been around for a while, they've played 60 maps on HLTV since the start of 2026. So I feel like no matter what happens, these guys don't really have a lot to lose in a game like this. This is why I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because I feel like if anyone has pressure, knowing that if they lose today, that would be a massive disappointment, it's probably not Mana. They have a lot of momentum going through the lower bracket. They've won so many consecutive matches. Nemiga is the team that a lot of people would be expecting to be a grand final participant, or at least reach top 3 or top 4 at an event like the ESL Challenger League, right? So if you're Mana, you probably don't have that asterisk of pressure on your shoulder.
And that definitely is true, but that's definitely an intangible point. I mean, in terms of the actual what we've seen from these 2 teams, it's very, very different by comparison in terms of form for me. Nemiga are coming into yesterday were against their series against OneWin. They were on a 6-series undefeated streak, and they were dumpstering teams that of this kind of level, that the TLRs, the Harvus, the Aruni is sort of sides, all those matches being 2-0s and very proficient ones at that for the Nemiga side. So into these online matches, in regards to the level of competition they're playing, it does track well that they could still turn this into a simple little affair against this Mana camp. I mean, it just sort of seems to line up with the nature of their form, with the nature of their tournaments. It feels like Nemiga would, on paper, be the more superior side. Now, you are right about the online Counter-Strike thing, the fact that sometimes it gets unpredictable, sometimes it gets scrappy, and sometimes your mentality shift could be all that you need to turn this from a one-sided stomp into a competitive affair. But I just haven't seen enough from Mana to really say that I can back that personally.
Look, if we're being real right now, it should be a 2-0 for the side of Nemiga, right? They're the team with the deeper playbook. They're the team with the better individuals, probably with more experience. We're talking online Counter-Strike, sure, but when we're talking online Counter-Strike, we can't really pretend that Nemiga is the team of 25-year-old veterans that have been playing professional Counter-Strike online for the last 5 years, and they're not used to that type of environment. These are online demons, right? So we are expecting them to start off well, especially with map number 1 being Ancient. You're looking at a map that Nemiga have won, what, 9 times in a row now, and you're looking at a lot of single score digits for the enemy team. A 13-4 over OneWin, a 13-2 against Metasport, a 13-7 against Eternal Fire, and then a couple of wins against teams like Betem, like Sparta, like Ascent, like Ecstatic, like Nuclear Tigress. They're on a very, very hot streak right now. So if you're Mana, you're probably not in a great position, considering you are starting this game on the map pick of Nemiga, which just happens to be their best map as well, right? Because chances are you might get stomped on Ancient. So I feel like if you're Mana, we should be talking not win conditions, but conditions not to get blown away, right? Win the pistol rounds, try and get a couple bonuses, make sure that Ancient is not a complete stomp, and then potentially if some of the individuals are feeling good today, go on into Mirage, you could probably put up a fight. But yeah, as you pointed out, it is a bit of a mismatch that we have going on the server, but this is the underdog story that we love here in the ESL Challenger League. And you know why, Jay? You know why we love an underdog story?
Why do we love an underdog 10?
Because if it works, if it actually pans out, then it's great, it's very exciting. If it doesn't, it's a quick day in the office.
Fair play. Do you know what? I can get behind that. Let's see how quick it is going to be as the Nemiga will be on the T side start for their map pick of Ancient. Pistols live. They immediately take red room access and CT spawn wraps in towards the A bomb site. You've got Sypho opening kill. Kaylee down in an instant. Will waste no time upgrading to that USP and try and take the long range duels onto Senna, backing away of the newer veteran of the team. Bomb plant secured on a 5-on-4. They're looking to overextend and potentially try hunt this player down. We've got a second man in main to try to deal with. Sawalio will get that kill, but run right into Amar to get the information, but losing his life in the process. Bleeder now moving up to site. Got Sypho point blank range, looking for the headshots. Can't quite get them on the first, but does land it on the second attempt, and a flick towards the second player as well is just fantastic. They all get cleaned up. The pistol win is taken by Nemiga.
Yeah, that was very nice out of Nemiga. I'm actually surprised that they didn't pick up the fight altogether in towards main. Maybe they thought that the T's would try and push in. Right center just gets isolated. So even though Amar gets the refrag, is still a little bit tough. That double kill out of Sypho is absolutely great. He's been very impressive. 17-year-old Spirit Academy man, currently on loan in this team of Nemiga, and he's actually been their highest rated player since the start of the year, considering the fact that he's more of a pack guy and he has some anchor spots on the CT side as well. Actually pretty impressive. This is why I'm very excited about this team. I feel like this is the Nemiga iteration that has had the most firepower ever. I think the Nemiga with Flammas didn't have as much pure firepower. I don't think the one with Zwei had as much firepower. They had that one star that was shining, and maybe that second player of Khan, maybe Xanter at times. But I feel like now you just look at the lineup and pretty much you have an IGO, Lear, who could be a fragging IGO every now and then. Everyone besides him is a very scary mechanical player to be up against.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the fact that a lot of these players are now pretty accomplished as individuals, right? I mean, Chiron's been around the scene for a little bit. Lear and Khan established their names on this side. You mentioned Sypho doing what he was doing back on the Spirit Academy side, and now, of course, on loan. Even Sawalio came from Ruby, and they were not quite as high level back then, but they were at least having presence in the tier 2 space. So you've got some backing in terms of these individual players. And I do agree that, yeah, the team feels a lot more better, well-rounded by comparison to the old guard, but maybe that might be a good thing for Nemiga to allow those extras to creep up. For now, it's an eco cleanup, nice and effective. It's a 2-0 for the Nemiga side.
Yeah, looking pretty clean. Now, one of the interesting conversations as well to be had here is who's going to step it up from the side of Mana. We know that Balkan Counter-Strike is synonymous with having a lot of firepower. Kaylee's been one of the best performing pieces on this lineup. Obviously, he's got all the star spots and a lot of the entry positions as well. We've got Bledard on the AWP as well. Well, not in this round. He's going to be rocking that M4. A bit of a default stance coming out of the CT side. You've got a 3-man starting towards B. Let the T's have mid control. Put a little bit of extra presence in towards the cave position. And first kill goes their way.
Now down for Sypho, on towards Bleed. The trade comes back immediately for the Nemiga side. 4-on-4. He's on 12 points of health.
Look at Chiron.
Indeed he is. Out on the A bomb site, looking around for the next player. Senna just missed the timing on him. I don't think Senna see him either. Yeah, this is a very interesting position to be at. Although I think the Mana are starting to account for this. I mean, I thought for a second they were going to check towards CT, but their backs are turned now. Wholly held in red. Chiron will lean closer. Senna will take down Khan. That will drop the bomb. But now Chiron has to strike as Crispy Bob will move on to this position. Quick play back from Kaylee will return. Advantage been taken away by Mana once again. They take down Sawalio as well. And Sypho, 12 HP, no chance.
Wow. What a round of timings that is. Sypho's already calling this one home. I mean, you look at the money. It's probably more worth it for him to just hold on to the AK for the next round. He's got a molly and an HE as well. That was very unfortunate, by the way, for Chiron, who got the timing, right? Because he does get it, but apparently the communication was not clear enough that that one player that was in towards Donut could actually walk in towards the bomb side. This is the one thing they didn't expect, right? They thought that center would just stay in towards Donut, play this on a bit of a retake setup, especially considering that they didn't really have a lot of extra presence in towards middle of the CTs. That's why you see the bomb carrier just walking out, knife out. He was just not ready for center to be in an aggressive angle on the bomb side. And if you're Chiron, you're probably screaming, okay, just get close, make a little bit of sound, try and isolate, don't plant the bomb, and then I'm gonna win us the round. I'll just get a multi-kill. But the moment that the bomb gets dropped, he's forced to activate. A little bit tough. But a first round on the board for Mana nonetheless. Get a refragging coming out of Sypho. There's the replay. It was a very weird fight. And a big round out of center. By the way, I've always been bamboozled by the way that you call him center. Because my entire life, and a lot of people, not only you, but a lot of, my entire life I've just called him Scenari.
Right, so,
yeah.
We asked him directly. Me and Dweg were obviously a duo. We asked him directly, is it Senna? Is it Scenari? Is it Senna 1? What's it? He told us it's Senna. Right? Then he goes on Pro League like a 6 months, a year later and goes, it's Scenari. So, no, I don't really know what it is.
I've always called him Scenari.
We can do Scenari if you want, I don't mind.
Yeah, I just think it sounds good. You know?
Obviously, the more recent addition to the Mana side, coming out with a great round there, added at the start of the year. Also with a reputation to up peak. Yeah, you're right about the A-pop.
He's all alone. This round is over. This round is so over. Unless Scenari gets a double or a triple kill, this is done.
Well, rotations will get cut off by Sawalio. He essentially is in a 1v3 situation when the execution comes in. Smoke's going to stall it out for now for Nemiga, but it will clear up. Sawalio's extending to try and cut off more CT presence. I think he might have been spotted by the player at the back of the short entrance. He just backs away entirely. He's trying to set up the split in place. So to allow that breathing room for the CTs to start their rotations. The Molotov's the backside. Smoke's coming in to block off CT spawn. Senna's still on site with the boxes, but backup now joins him. This becomes a much more doable round. Chiron will take a face at a fight, but unable to get the kid out of tree. Senna with a great kill, trying to back off even further. Sawalio and Lear start entering. The bomb will be secured.
This is very doable. They've got the defuse kits, they've got the util. They can actually make this one work.
Senna will indeed strike that. Sypho, Kaylee with a kill of his own right. Bleeder comes in with support, and while Sawalio's on 1 versus 5 with 1 pick. 2 picks found, can't quite make it a third though. Chipped away on HP bars, and that will be Mana in with a 2-all scoreline.
This is actually a textbook hold coming out of center, and it felt a little bit scrappy out of Nemiga, right? They were almost surprised that center would be all alone towards the back of the bomb side. That's why you don't see them scale up a little bit quicker. And from their perspective, it just makes absolutely zero sense for the CTs to have only 1 player on A, right? So you can see them take their time with clearing out Donut. You can see that the second player that got the first one on top of the boot really in a position to refrag the guy towards the back of the side, so center is just allowed to get 1 kill and then fall back. A little bit problematic on the spacing there. Nemiga probably feel like they could have been a little bit cleaner on that way onto the bomb side, but Scenari's got back-to-back massive rounds now. I know he's 4-3, which when you look at it initially, it doesn't really feel like a massive score, but he's, I would say, single-handedly won them both rounds.
He's done his work. Nemiga in a bit of an awkward spot in terms of the rebuys here. Half invest with the hero AK on Sawalio, seeing whether he can make the ultimate difference. He'll try and play entry intervals to be execution coming in real quick. Look at the nade damage coming out from Kaylee, though. He gets 2 of those kills alongside Serbak on Sawalio. Kaylee can strike back from long and all, and it's all come undone in a matter of moments for the Nemiga side. The damage that was output in the start of the round was finished off by 1 man, middle of the round, and, well, it's a third back for a lead. Mana back in control.
I have no idea how he's able to get a double kill with a nade like this. This is absolutely mental. I was just gonna start getting a little bit excited about the round, right? The pop comes in, AK runs in first, gets the opening, and then you can start playing on refrag behind the pistols. You had the util towards short, towards long, you had everyone isolated, the bomb sides to yourself. And then the nade just comes in and gets a double kill, and that just ruins everything for Nemiga. It was still a good half-buy, though. A little bit of damage. You do need this round. However, the start is not perfect. Khan able to respond back with 1, but Scenari still just being a nuisance.
Continuing to frag away here in mid. Gets even a chip off onto Chiron before he drops. Lear having to come in with that support. Is Galil able to strike back, but the CTs have taken a ton of map control in response to all the pressure that they've gained. Now the AWP is watching to continue the frag counts in mid. An easy shot on Lear. See that last man, the bomb, and or pick up a double. Bleeder makes them bleed. 4 in a row now for Mana.
There you go. That's what we were talking about. You never ride off these Balkan folks. Look at the way that they pick up the round. I mean, Scenari is just playing on refrags in towards mid. A 1v1 after 1v1. Supposed to be a bit more of a support element, this guy, but maybe not on this team. That's another multi-kill. He's gotten 2 double kills in consecutive buy rounds, and now he gets a triple in this one. All alone in towards middle. Nemiga once again out of money, no bomb plant, meaning no party, 3,400. Another B-pop coming out of the Tech 9s.
Cash going to become a consistent issue unless they can get onto these bomb sites to get plants down, and nade damage continues to compound as well.
No more flashes.
Incendiaries will block and all. There's not much entry paths. There's no entry path potential for the Nemiga side. They've got the smokes to try and smoke off the basic entry ways for the CT side and cut those rotations and go in for the execution itself, but not much more outside of that. And Bleedar's ready to receive from the first contact of the orb. The M4's there to spring traps.
Ooh.
Make their moves in, try to catch them off guard, but Amar good to deal with 2. Cypher gets that return. The Orb is going to get a bit pressured with smoke covering off his teammates back, and they pop the nades in to try and clear him out, but he will get spammed away by Cypher. Still returned by Serber. Lear picks up that gets picked up on the casualty rather. And Khan will get tagged as Serber goes in for a whole lot more right here. Cypher down. And Khan, possible 1v3, not with the HP he's got. We'll at least isolate that first pick, see that second man as well, but no information on Kaylee, and Kaylee will strike when the iron's hot.
That was a little bit weird for a second. I was just going to praise the CTs for the good hold, then they decide to just jiggle. I'm not even sure if that was a nade or a pistol that got dropped in towards the M4, but either way, it was a little bit risky of a maneuver. Thankfully, they had the Serber able to get them back into the round. They did lose 3 players, but I guess money's still alright. They're 5-2 up. Probably should have never been in that type of a position, but they've been playing some good Counter-Strike. Looking pretty damn solid on that CT side. Now, Nemiga have been getting close. They've been doing the damage. They've been falling at the final hurdle. Middle has been a bit of an issue, especially with the previous round. This time around, given away for free. For now.
Fighting so aggressive for Scenario once again. Cypher and Swallow trying to trade it, but Serber's right back on themselves. Cypher can double up. The mid-access coming in from Lear will eventually get his main man down, and that's a much faster, much more confident style of play in from the Nemiga here. Leader surely shouldn't hold the clutch.
They just look ready. Nate might actually get the kill. They will attack down Lear. Spam doesn't finish off the job, but Cypher will from the other side. I like it from Nemiga. This is what shows a little bit of, you know, intelligence on the server. You go out middle, you're anticipating everything. You've got the molly in towards the cave, so even if that player wants to swing and go for a kill, he's risking just going down on a spam or to the flames itself. So you are making mana pay the cost if they want to play that re-aggression in towards middle, and they were ready for the CTs to potentially just let them have it at the start and then re-aggress. These are the situations where you want to see that Nemiga are not surprised by the play out of mana. They should be ready.
1-for-1 trades instantly coming in. Senna and Chiron going blow for blow with each other. Senna is going to go down from the mana side, so the mid control is lost. And I'm going to try and fight for it either. Kaylee happy to back off. Other R is a map control though. Server moving up and through towards the elbow access layer. Making noise and got caught by flashbangs there towards the cheetah entrance, but he will make his map control felt and will avoid the backstab of Server, at least for the first contact. As he clears out mid, though, I recognise there's going to be a B play. Amar swings in and Cypher just domes him in an instant.
Careful. Opera on an island. Should be a dead man walking, not looking the right way. Blindsided. Nothing he could have done about it, but look at Server.
Team in the backstab almost lines him up, but completely whiffs the spray. And Cypher gets another one in the round. Kaylee will get revealed ahead of the HE. The smoke cleared up, and ES naded and spammed down, so he won't last long himself. The Nemiga trying to bring this back 4-5 on the board at the moment. Mana overwhelmed in an instant in that one. What an excellent trickle there from the Orpa.
I think that's one that we're not talking about, by the way. We can talk about the heavy shooting coming out of Cypher. Oh, yeah, we didn't need that replay. We can just let it slide, you know? Too many people on the screen, but you could just see how this one gets put together, right? They're just lining up, trying to get out the doorway. Maybe he could have gotten both of them. Maybe then it's a different round, but now Nemiga have actually been able to come back right into this one. And this is what you want to see out of the team that, on paper, should be the one in a better position, right? You want to see that they have the depth, and even if they are off to a slow start, it is their best map. They can work their way right back into the buy rounds as the half goes a little bit deeper. They've been able to do that. Playing a very fast-paced style of Counter-Strike on that T-side Nemiga as well. Very reactive. I mean, it does help that mana are always there to fight them. Both teams are playing with a lot of character, trying to control the map. Wow. Alright.
Shouldn't expect much control of the pistols. They're getting a couple of kills out of this one. Oh no, okay.
What the hell is that?
3-on-2, grabbed an AK for Scenario as well. I imagine that without the Kevlar, without the HP from his teammates, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually maintain this round. The Molotov also hasn't landed, so they're going to get towards the bomb site. Oh, this could get very dangerous indeed. They might not expect him to be out here so quickly. Swalio just catches one angle. One player seen before the smoke had bloomed at CT spawn. Khan hesitant to plant that bomb for certain. It gives Scenario a chance to lean up, get his casualty! Oh! The transfer to the second head makes this a wonderful eco steal for Mana!
No, you know what? His name is not Scenario. His name is Center number 1, because he really is the number 1 on the server. What a play! That was out of center. Used to be the support player on the Bad News Eagles. Well, guess who's the big star now on Mana? Guess who just got eco'd? Full eco, USPs, and a 5-7 out of center. He was the only one with armor as well. Look at the spray transfer. Look at that bullet. Right through the skull.
Whew, that was mental. Absolutely, purely and truly mental.
He's 12-6. Someone tell him he's not 19 anymore. He was probably not even doing that when he was 19.
Wow. Bit of shock and awe towards the Nemiga side, who certainly shouldn't have lost that round. At the very least should have recovered it with the damage, but yeah, right back on the bite for round 11, trying to see if they can equalize the half at 6 apiece. It's entirely possible here, and they've struck down the opening kill for it. The AWP of Khan in towards Cheetah, taking down the first. And now the walk contact starts to come into the A bomb site. The AWP was positioned close on the CT basis. The timing's just about coming in for Bleeder. He lands on Lear. Cypher's so fast to train him back, so the A site will see a bomb plant.
This is very doable. They have the util. Smoke in towards CT. You've got the molly in towards Donut. You can plant the bomb without a lot of issues, and you still have cannon towards middle.
Oh, but just spotting. Does get spotted out. Sanhari continues to hit stellar shot after stellar shot. 13 deep in this opening half. He's become the most impactful man for the Mana side right now. So Alio is now lying in wait for him. Utility sent with an ace down. So Alio, shoulder advantage, can just spot his man first, but completely missed that spray, giving a kill back. Another one towards Scenari. Sypho now getting caught by the flanks of Kaylee, and Chiron's got no health to protect this bomb. Molotov's against him, he can't push forward of it. Kit's on the last diffuser, he will hold it all the way down. Chiron can't do a thing about it. Mana have the half.
That's insane. It's round after round after round. He even gets the kill onto him. That's just insult to injury. It's not even a question of money. They can rebuy. It's just how many times they've been able to get their way back into a round like this. This shot onto the opener in towards heaven. This is the big difference maker. So Alio playing an angle that's just reliant on, I guess, getting the right timing. Scenario's just winning so many fights right now. He's shooting like a madman. He's 15-6. And I'd love to know how many of these have been headshots, by the way. Because I think there's been a fair share of bullets going through the skulls of Nemiga players.
AWP in for Khan, going to try and strike first once again. He's going to get taken down quickly off the back of that. The nades on Sypho nearly taking him the same. Serber, next man contact. Lear's going to drop that bomb for it. And that AK being solo, triple, given away to that AK. And the round should go with it. 2v4 for the rest of the Mega players. They ain't got a chance in this round.
Chiron will be able to get that refrag eventually, but he's already getting circled, closed in around. Look at center. He can just walk through the smoke. He's playing with so much confidence right now. If you're Swallow, you're just never expecting that type of a play. Turns around, another kill for Scenario, and this should be 8 on the board.
Indeed it is, and what a man to close out. 17 kills in the one half for an 8-4 half for Mana. Can they really steal the Megas mad big? It becomes a lot more doable now. We get to find out after the break. Well, Mana will put up a challenge in the Challenger League against their favourites of Nemiga. Nemiga picked into Ancient, but they are down 4-8 as they head into the CT side. Maybe a chance of recovery in what is traditionally the better half of the map, but that was an impressive showing from Mana that could well throw some spanners into the works, as they could well take away Nemiga's map pick. Ted, you were saying it's unpredictable. I guess that unpredictability has certainly shown up now.
No, it really has, right? We were talking about momentum. We were talking about how important it was for Mana to actually get onto a good start, win the pistol, get the conversions. Oh, well, guess what? They lost the goddamn pistol. They lost it. Then they lost the anti-eco. And then you're going into round number 3. They pick it up. Senner is absolutely dominating in towards the A-bomb side. They even win a full eco towards the end with Senner just being the only one with armor and a 5-7. So now Mana are suddenly one pistol round away from potentially running away with the best map of Nemiga.
What a steal it would be. Pistol may well seal the deal on it and all. They're on the T-side start, trying to go just as aggressive into that red room beyond the smoke. Swallow with 1 and 2. Excellent stuff to try and shut it right back down, and they're desperate to try and do so here. The press forward from the Mana side has been knocked out. The bomb back out towards Donut, and they've got a decent now leading onto the repositioning of the T-side bases, but the counter flank in from Bleedar could still throw again another curveball over at the Nemiga side. He's backed up over at the CT spawn entrance. 4 players around this corner. How much is he going to get? Absolutely nothing. But the bomb still has to commit towards A. B has not been lost to the CT forces, and Kyron's about to find that out the hard way.
Hold on. This is not impossible, by the way. Khan is low on HP. You've got 2 Glogs versus 4 USPs. Unless they get that first kill onto Senner quickly, this might actually be tricky.
Getting him into the sight. Lear just lands that headshot. Serber's going to return that fire once again onto Lear. Advantage mitigated by 1 man, 2 men.
There
now
you go.
2v1. Can isolate some more jewels? Woo! No. Khan takes it right back. And it will be a pistol win for Nemiga.
I'm telling you, man, you give 2 Glocks a little bit of time, space to plant the bomb, get out of the bomb side. That's why I was saying if they don't get that first kill instantaneously, this is a very difficult round for them to win. No defuse kit, no smoke. Thankfully, they were able to deal with Senner very quickly. A little bit of an issue here for the side of Mana. 1 failed smoke that was supposed to land right where there was 4 players from Nemiga. The split smoke for the A split through CT spawn failed. Unfortunately, that left them exposed, but they're still able to find their way back into a bomb plant, which, considering how much of a dire situation it was, is actually not too bad of an ordeal. Force by coming through. 2 Galils. Amr and Serber are going to be wielding these. Or as we love calling him now, Jay, Crispy Bob.
Jay, can players put their names to the right things on server?
It's such a shout because they're playing Nemiga as well. It's actually great. I'm loving it.
Oh, dear. Well, Amar does get tagged up in the first contact, but Kaylee's the man to draw out the first kill with his deagle in hand. Awkward spray from Lear as Serber gets the kill against him. Scenario will also find Khan, and this comes completely undone for the Nemiga side. 2v5 on this, well, not retake, save. They have no choice but to save. They can't make a retake happen at all.
It just feels like it's very easy for Mana to pick up these rounds, right? They just go for an off-of-spawn execution, and if you're an Nemiga, you should be ready for probably something like this, and they were. They still had 3 players in towards the B-bomb site. Every single one of them dying all alone, though, on a single contact. You lose the long player. Cubby guy gets mollied and peeked. Even if he gets 1 kill, he's just going to get immediately refragged, so it doesn't really change a whole lot. But ideally, you probably in a round like this want to dump your util a little bit quicker, right? Make sure there's no early rushes, pops, or whatever, because you know the T's, if they do decide to go for the force, will have very limited utility. So you want to make sure they don't have the possibility to play quickly. Oh. And that's a bit of a problem, because now you've lost both these M4s. This is mental. Shameless.
Oh, dear. Wow, that is going to suck even worse than it would have done for losing the pistol for Nemiga. They really need to convert upon that round, because economy is going to be in tatters. This could be 11-5 for Mana, unless there's another steal in from the Nemiga side. What can you do, though? I mean, forcing in with the upgrade pistols, stack in towards the B-bomb side. I mean, they're going to go quick once again for Mana. They could play right in towards the Nemiga's hands. Khan with that open. A scenario with the trade back. The 5-7's trying to get involved for Cypher as well, as he taps whilst holding behind hard cover. He will lose his life towards Serber. They've done a ton of damage, which allows Kyron to pick up 1 as Mamar jumps through the air with 3-on-3. And Sawalio's backstab can get towards spawn, but there's another exit path for the T side. They can still make their way out and through towards the mid control.
They can just pause. just cancel for a second. You know there's a bunch of pistols. You know there could be a flank coming in from T-spawn, and this is a good move coming out of center. Thing is, I'm pretty sure Sualio's heard the jump, and they're still regressing into a B exec. They have the Uto.
2 men on site. They must be recognizing that much here. 5-7 close pre-fire from
Oh
there.
my
Comes
God.
up, and Sualio has got down Serber the same. Kaylee, 1 versus 3. M4. Another M4 available for Lear at this moment. Now he's seen him. Sprays him back, and the counter steal is perfect. Nemiga desperately needed that response, and that's exactly what they got.
That's absolutely massive, and this is Mana straight up trying to play punishing Counter-Strike, trying to pick up the pace. Bledder just gets annihilated from a player he doesn't see, and look at all these shots. No one in the try and get the refrag. The utility was there, but didn't really help them too much, and then they get blocked off by a smoke. We keep it going with the force buy wars. 6-9. Someone make the joke and laugh about it.
Nah, it's all about the 6-7 these days, isn't
It's
it?
a funnier joke than 6-7.
Sualio, kill found, a start off for the CT forces, training back Chiron's initial demise. But Bleeder responds back to him at 1 point of health. He's barely alive in that exchange. Advantage just about for Mana. A lot of map control being taken by the part of Lear. His SMG to extend out. He should be going down. Maybe take down the 1 player of Bleeder. No, not even that's going to get allowed. Bit too greedy from Nemiga here.
That's very upsetting if you're on the CT side, but then at the same time, if you're a T, it doesn't really give you too many answers, right? He's so deep into enemy territory that there might as well be another player in towards the back of the B bomb side, and you're still looking for another guy somewhere around middle or A, Khan. It's just a game of timings. If he does get the kill onto the Heaven player, that might make them feel like it's going to be a B play. Scenario's been so quiet all this time, taking the space in towards A, just going to shoot Khan to the back. This round is over, and the worst part about it, they should know where Sypho is.
Only one place he can be. Back on B. Amar will reduce him to nothing. And take the 10th back for the Mana
Center
side.
is 21-8, Jake. 21-8. When was the last time you've seen that type of a game out of Center? I can tell you, it was probably a very long time ago. That long that you probably don't remember, because it has been a while.
Definitely would have been like bad news, prime bad news Eagles period at the very most.
Do you want me to blow your mind?
Oh, go on.
The best game he's ever played in his career was on the 13th of March, which is literally 10 days ago. That was a 21-8 on Nuke against CS Dylan. He might actually beat that.
That's yeah. I mean, that's a CS Dylan, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, but this is Nemiga.
I'm thinking bigger scale. I mean, yeah, it's true. It's very true.
And he might beat it. It's once again 21-8. And he might get more. Give Scenario the eco kills. Come on. Let him pad up the stats.
Pad his stats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inflate them numbers.
I mean, he's been
record.
excellent. At this point, he deserves the inflation. He's been
No, you're 100% right. Like, he's been stellar.
Yeah.
Like, no one from the Nemiga has been able to shut him down thus far. He has been lights out. No one's been able to match that impact of that numbers game. The top fraggers in the Nemiga don't come close. And for Mana, it's just going to continue to work up from here. They've got that opening kill from Kaylee. The extension again out towards the A main position
That's
from
a
Sualio.
save.
He goes down. And now with the B stack in mind, you're right. The A site will just be taken. The bomb will get planted. And they just have to hold on to these guns for another better basis of a buy. They're running out of chances, though. This is going to be 11-6. And only 2 more for Mana to steal away this Ancient. Never thought I'd be seeing that today.
No, me neither, by the way. I was expecting this one to be a little bit closer than maybe what, you know, we were painting the picture towards in the pre-game. I was expecting Mana to put up somewhat of a fight, but beating Nemiga on that type of a map, literally their home ground, this is a little bit shocking, a little bit surprising of a way things have been going. And Scenari is playing like a man possessed even in these hunt situations. Gets another multi-kill. He's 23-8 at this point, on the way to play probably one of the best maps of single Counter-Strike we've seen in his entire career, and on his way to prove that he probably deserves a shot on Team Liquid. Might be able to make them better if he's playing like this, honestly.
Would it make them better, or would it just make him worse? I mean, you know,
That is a very fair point. No, you know what? This
point.
is actually, I'm not in the right to say this now, because they did win a best of 3, and they did say they're on the right path to success now. They're on the right track.
Press X to doubt.
Where's my
5
controller?
to the good on Mana. And it's only an eco for Nemiga, so they're going for the overtime, and I'm not sure that they can really do that here. This is a high-risk strategy. I mean, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't at the end of the day. You didn't hold anything on the previous round. The exit frags, the hunt came in perfectly for mana, and this should be perfect as well against Chiron. The only upgrade pistol set over on the top of tree. Will get checked on soon enough. A lot more players checking this angle than in previous versions of the game. And Kelly will get his casualty. Bleedar will cut the rest of the rotations. There's nothing in this round at all for Nemiga.
God.
Yeah, Bleedar gets his casualty. 3 in eventually. Nice and effective, nice and efficient. All 5 should maintain their lives. And it will be 6 map points for mana.
Yeah. You know what that is, Jay? What we're seeing right now is that type of a situation where you queue a paced game and you just feel like you can't get punished. Everything you do just connects. Everything you do works. This is what Bleedar just experienced in Towards Heaven. I know these are eco kills, but the fact that you run out of ammo, there's a guy that's just gooshing you right in front of you. He just spamming, staring you in the eyes, and you survive. You didn't even turn around to make your head a little bit more difficult to hit. You're just staring at him. You pull out your pistol when you get the kill. This is where you're just laughing, you're just smiling, you're having a fun time. And the Nemiga are definitely not having a fun time. Box is going to have a very difficult conversation to go through with his teammates between the first and the second map.
Because they were on a 9-map winning streak on Ancient coming into this best of 3. That's about to end. They beat teams like One Win, Eternal Fire, the Bet M33 side, Ecstatic. Meanwhile, last official that Mana played on this map lost to Rottweilers. Like, that's just not even a comparison. Nemiga, complete shock and awe on their map pick and just don't really know how to handle it. They've gone heavy-handed to the A bomb site as the search for info comes in from Lear. He'll clear out the lanes, so they'll recognize that there's not much presence over on this part of the map, but that doesn't stop them from taking mid. Cypher's got to do well to stand up and defend.
Issue is they don't really have a lot of util to hold on to middle, right? And if you pull out a smoke to re-smoke it, you're just risking a little bit. Molly's gonna come through. There's the refight coming out of the T side. Those two CTs need to make a decision. They need to commit to something. Either play for it or dumb your util and get back. And thing is, the T's are going to disrespect it, so you've just waited to the smoke. That's done nothing for you.
Just fall back. Sypho waiting for Serber to make his way around that corner. He'll move up alongside Bleeder.
And they know, by the way, that there was no one in Towards Heaven, because they've heard the steps of the people going back. They know you re-cleared middle, so this is a great call to go in towards the B bomb side. You know they have at least 2 or 3 players in towards A right now.
Start extending Sonari. He's not quite able to get it this time. Sypho, all-important kill. Now the B defender's more centralized. They need to get some impact in. Chiron's going to get caught point blank from Lear. He does take a lot of damage, but he gets that kill together alongside Khan. Distraction on the T side, looking back towards ramp, unawares of the players at long and short, and all those individuals will clean house to keep Nemiga alive. 1 out of 6 on the comeback.
That was a great reaction out of the MP9 in towards the round, by the way. Looking at how the round went, massive risk being taken by Bleedar, who just swung Heaven to get the refrag onto the mid player, but they knew this was going to be a B play. The CTs, the moment that they take down center, they don't see anybody else rotations come through, and then the MP9 left on an island on the bomb side. The only way to buy time was to actually push and get that first kill, especially with everybody else being in towards the cave. So they get 1 on the board, Jay. How much do we believe that they could go into overtime?
It's a big question.
Out of 10.
Maybe a 4-5-ish. It's still a difficult comeback with as many rounds in a row and more rifles inbound from Mana alongside another buy that will be available in the next round as well. So if they can get through this, if they can weather this storm, then I would give it a little bit more of a better increase. But again, you're asking for 6 in a row to go flawless.
I'm giving them a generous 1.7.
Out of 2.
Out of 10.
Mana do take early tag damage to Bleeder, so it's a slight health advantage for the Nemiga side. And they're walking their way forward of Kaylee. They've got Sawalio to hold down Donut. That smoke clear up in a moment, has to get re-put up by the CT player that will reveal his position. As a result of that, kill needs to get found. He's a lot of damage, but none of those are kills. Finally, center, and Kaylee will drop. And the third man still waits. And Marcin, that gun barrel, needs to pick his moment perfectly. Sawalio checks it, but there goes the casualty. The second one, not so much. Chiron returns the favor. And now Serber needs to act towards that B bomb site, but the bomb's on the other side of the map, so it can't get planted just yet. He needs to extend and start fighting.
That's not the right way to go, though. He would have loved to be on that short off angle. Needs to go for the peak. Needs to get the kill. Unable to confirm it. And that's going to be the round. Bledard can't even cross in towards that heaven position. He doesn't really want to, holding on to the Ope. And that generous 1.7 has just turned into a 7.1. See what I did there? Now this is looking like a more competitive game. They still have a lot of money. But look at that from Sualio. This is absolutely mental. That's what we were talking about when we were mentioning the firepower on the side of Nemiga. They just have these players that can pop off. Sualio, Sypho, even though they're so young, they have incredible firepower. The ceiling is just very high when these guys get comfortable. Tactical timeout coming out of Mana. This is going to be their second one. Starting to feel the pressure.
You mentioned the conversations that Omega and their coach of Box will have in between these maps. That was on the assumption, of course, that they lost in the previous couple of rounds. Well, one kind of conversations that Malware is having with his side right now. What could he be saying to give them that final little boost? They just need a single round. Omega still need 4. Chiron, first player forward into the mid-access with Bleedar Zorpa on that smoke to try and receive it. Flashbang forward, seeing nothing. HGs do not reveal anything for either side either.
Whew. Nice shot out of Khan. Opening things up in towards that A bomb side. Bomb is still dropped in towards Elbow. And you still have Center on a solo mission to try and get rid of that Ope of Khan. He's able to tag him down. It still feels like they're just spreading around and hoping for a lot of these solo missions to succeed. Another tag landed. Lear on low HP as well. Unable to get the kill though, the T so far. But they are making those Nemiga players bleed.
And make them die as well. On the counter action, Khan with another pick back on the AWP, a 5-on-3. Serba trying to lead them, or at least take presence over towards this red room. In nades and incendiaries won't stretch towards doing the major amount of the damage towards him. He gets a kill back on Sawali. Oh, another kill not quite established by Kaylee.
Sypho's alone.
To enter into that B bomb site. And you are right about Sypho, but how long can he hold off for? Certainly as he drops Bleeder, that makes his job a little bit more easier. 1v1 fights to take on both angles. Here's the footsteps, and well, he will get taken aback by Serba. Counter smokes in from his teammate, provide a little bit of cover so he can continue to hold. The flashbangs catch him right in the face, and Kaylee gets the backstab of Lear. 2 versus 2 now. Round is back on for Mana, and Chiron does not want to tempt fate. He'll wait for the AWP to rotate.
They can plant the bomb. AWP is going around the world, and Khan is low on HP. They do have the defuse kit, but it's going to be so difficult coming out of different directions. If Chiron goes down, this round is done.
He's on the high health. Khan closes in his position as Chiron starts to lean forward. It's timing on that long player. Taps come in. Serba tries to strike. He takes him back. And now it's all on Khan alone. A 1 versus 2. We ask for perfection. We ask for flawlessness out of Omega to maintain this streak, to take us to that overtime. Khan on site will make some noise, trying to force them into fights. And gets caught by that AK. Kaylee, in the end, is credited with the kill. Serba ends up with a triple to close, but it's Senna, top frag at 24-11. A standout MVP performance for him on map 1, stolen away by Mana.
This is a massive result. This is one thing that never saw coming. This is the one map that Nemiga have won 9 times in a row in the last couple of weeks. Their best map. This was supposed to be a clean sweep, but the other way around. Nemiga never got into it in the first half, and then in the second half, they were getting absolutely dominated up until the moment when Mana hit 12. A couple of rounds to try and get themselves right back, but in the end of the day, this is a massive result for Mana, and especially with their map pick coming up after this one, Jay. I feel like we might be in for a bit of a surprising evening.
Well, indeed, we could be. I mean, it certainly has been a shock already to the system. I thought, as we said earlier, that if Mana were going to do anything, that it would have been on their own map pick. And Mirage, statistically speaking, is the better of the maps. They don't have a lot of ancient in terms of their like success records. They've got a lot of it played, so I guess the fundamentals have worked towards them. But there's a reason they picked into this Mirage, and the only real consolation fact is that Nemiga haven't lost it too much, but they also haven't played it as many times as the Mana side. So with momentum, with the fundamentals, with everything we've just seen from Sonari doing so well for the Mana camp, it feels like to me there might be a handful more surprises on the table for them. How many more though? We'll find out after this very short break. We'll return with Mirage, our second in the best of 3.
boss.
Cool, thank you. And it's a little bit like I'm tugging. Just got up biking this a quick season. Major surprises in our best of 3 for the day in the ESL Challenger League. Mana have taken Nemiga's own map pick. Ancient falls out of favour, and now we move towards Mirage. Yes, 6 out of 6 in terms of the win rates here for Nemiga's side, but Mana have played this a lot more, and we were saying earlier, if there's going to be one map which they do some damage on, it would be on this one. So, look, I mean, in terms of that logic, that does state with the first map going the way of Mana that they could be on for a 2-0 here, Ted.
They absolutely could, right? And this is mental to say at this point. And if you're joining the game and you probably thought, okay, I'm gonna come in for the second map, it's probably 1-up Nemiga and they're probably just gonna run away with it in a 2-0 fashion. Now this game has become a lot more interesting because we're talking elimination on the line as well. It's not like Nemiga don't care if they lose, right? They would lose a whole lot of VRS points to the side of Mana. They get eliminated from the tournament. For Mana, this could be a massive result as well. You win here, you're entering the top 100 in the world, and you get 37 VRS points. If you're an Nemiga, you lose here, and you're dropping 25 points, and you go down to number 40 instead of going up to number 36, which would have been the equivalent if you had one. And as you pointed out, this is the map on which we thought that Mana could have an opportunity. Nemiga have lost 3 out of their last 4 Mirages. They've beaten only 5 actors, but they've lost to 1 win Eternal Fire and Arcret. And then you're looking at the side of Mana, and the teams that they've been playing, not necessarily up to the level of Nemiga, but there has been a couple of very good wins against teams like Novak, a very close double overtime or triple overtime game even against Eternal Fire, a win against the Polish side of Minlate. There has been some good results when it comes down to Mirage, and especially if the individuals are hitting that hard, I feel like they could put up a fight. My main question here, Jay, is will Scenarii be able to provide the same level of individuality? Because I think map number 1 was fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the key thing, because like that's just for those of you that missed it, he scored 2.16 rating on HLTV for that last map up, and if you take a look at the stats charts, he's like supremely far beyond anybody on the server in that one. They couldn't neutralize him on the Mega, they couldn't find a way to counter him, they couldn't find a way to deal with his just individual talent, and that just genuinely was the reason why they got as far as they did, why they got away as well as they had. It was 12-6, that was the map point from there, and they're just such a dominating sort of scoreline to finish off from, and that is a key question, because he will be very important if you're delivering all that impact that can't be neutralized, that can't be accounted for, and if you can't bring that into the next map up, then that's going to be a serious asset taken away from the Mana camp. Now, I would hope that they've got some fundamentals to fall back on, because they play this map frequently. It is among that sort of core of the map pool that you mentioned was a little bit shallow before we got started. It is their most played map in the pool as well. But the fact that they've done what they have done on Ancient, and now going into this Mirage pick, to me it does scream to these positive things, irrespective of whether Senna could actually deliver the impact again.
Yeah, it is absolutely optimistic and positive, I feel like, especially considering that they usually don't really rely on him, right? Usually it's people like Bledard, like Kaylee, like Cerber, Amar even. I mean, Senna is the second lowest rated player on this team. You've got Bledard, Amar, and Kaylee, who are usually the top carries of Mana, and now, starting on the T side of their own map pick, they're in with a great opportunity. Starting off with the standard U2 into towards A, Molly Stairs, Smoke Jungle, hope for the best.
Leah trying to take first contact at Sawali that draws out first blood, but Kaylee with a very fast trade back. Khan's going to try and hold down towards the default plant position, catch off that bomb carrier, possible indeed. He takes down Senna. Can he double up? Not quite. Kaylee with a return, Sypho with a counter frag. Kaylee with 3 kills in this round. He's looking to extend back for more here at CT Spawn. It's a 2v2 for now, and the bomb has been dropped. Low HP on Kaylee as well. We won't last much longer. Chiron does get goosed in the process. Bleed are now up to clutch this 1 versus 2. Knows that player's close, but not so closest towards the bins. Chiron will swing with that chance, and that position unchecked with 4 HP to spare. He takes the pistol for Nemiga.
That's a massive double kill coming out of Chiron, but the kill through the smoke coming out of Sypho is such a big difference maker as well, right? They take over by the bomb side. They get a 4 versus 2, I believe, out of this entire situation. And then the kills through the smoke just start coming in. It's a massive one out of Sypho and a big, big play out of Chiron as well. Low on HP, he was getting run down by a Glock, but this is Nemiga picking up another pistol round. Let's not forget, they did the same on Ancient in the first half. They won the pistol, they won the anti-eco, and then their terror started.
I mean, they're actually 3 for 3 in pistols. They won it in the second half as well. It just got stolen immediately by the Mana side.
Yeah.
And in terms of that first half pistol, it was just that one, then the follow-up eco, and then 5 on the trot to return from the Mana camp.
It's very funny when it just goes, when a game of Counter-Strike just goes the exact opposite way of what you're expecting, right? You're expecting Mana to be the team to win the pistol rounds, but then get overwhelmed when it comes down to the buy round. So far, it's been roles reversed. It's CS, man. We love the game.
Surprises are everywhere in this esports. And I think that Mana may be delivering some of their own once they get to those rifles. For now, it is the basic eco, so very similar to how the last map started up 2-0 for Nemiga. And the guns to come in extremely early from Mana on this T-side base. Yeah. I know that the statistics actually does favour them quite decently on the T-side as well in terms of their map history. So I'm expecting some good stuff when the guns come up.
Also, I just realized we've not addressed something, Jay. We've been on a Counter-Strike stream for now more than an hour, me and you. We've not addressed the fact that today is the birthday of Counter-Strike 2. Three years ago, on the 22nd of March, Valve announced CS2. With the new smokes, with the revamps of the maps, with the new engine, with the phenomenal sub-tick system.
Phenomenal is one way to describe it.
Phenomenal is the only way to describe it.
Phenomenal series so far from Mana as well, hoping to join the celebrations with a win. The Nemiga tactical pause was just called in by them as well, so you'd imagine what kind of, again, conversations will be happening.
Just imagine.
Box and his boys. I mean, we were talking about that again, speculating that there's some serious conversations had to be had for Nemiga coming out of that last map up because they were stomped pretty easily. Like, I know the scoreline reads 13-8. It's very easy. It could have been very, very different. It could have been closer to a 13-5 if a few things hadn't gone their way in that second half. So for Mana, they're in the driver's seat, no doubt about that. Nemiga need to do something to change that. And evidence of that could be demonstrated here in the rifle round. 4 players leaning into A so early for Mana.
Yeah, they really are. It's a good block coming out of smoke, though. A little bit of mid-presence. They were hoping to go into a rapid A hit with Cerber walking through the con smoke, but now they've had to cancel, pull the plug on that type of a play. They still have that one player in towards Palace, though, and with that many people in towards underneath Palace, someone might be enticed to climb up eventually and take a bit of a peek. I'm not sure for how long you can play without presence in towards middle and just with a 4-man lean in towards that A bomb site. Cypher's got an aggressive position, but they can't really see anything towards short. They don't really know if there's people gathering up in towards the apartments. This is very uncomfortable.
A little bit of noise being made to the apartments to draw attention away. They start to search out over on the A side of the map. Flashbang, evaded by Amar. Perfect kill on the first. Not ready for the second, though. Caught napping in that exchange. Khan can take the trade, but Kaylee quick responds with a stunning headshot as well. Khan down, 4v2. Round should be effectively over.
Massive. And Cerber is ready for the walk in towards the murder hole. Now he knows why it's called like that. Cypher, the 1-man left on an MP9. And as you said, round over. So once again, we're seeing same old story. Nemiga win the pistol, and then the moment that Mana have any guns in their hands that are different than Glocks or USPs, they just win a round. Cypher might not even be able to hold on to the SMG. Looking at the way that they've just surrounded him. Molly gonna land right at his feet, and Kaylee, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. It's a triple kill for the man walking out of Palace. A great reaction to that aggressive play. A massive play out of Hammer as well, even though he did fall asleep here. Did see the player on his screen, didn't react, tried to pull out an nade. But the fact that he's able to dodge the first flash and then get the kill, it confirms so much because they know where the flash is coming from, they know where the second player is. It makes it so easy for Kaylee to just swing out of Palace and get both these kills.
And Mana now are on the board for the T side.
Big nade in towards connector. They're trying to fight middle, by the way. The T's should react and go out A.
Indeed they will. Quick entries from Amar. Server just calling in all that information. There's 4 players total that peeked in from the short and connector access. Amar kill again with the first, not quite the second. Suadio this time with the FAMAS will get that trade. Alongside a kill in from Lear coming out of CT, I believe. Dangerous with the bomb site, man advantage taken. He's looking for a little bit more, but he won't get that secondary kill. Kaylee comes up with that return. Cypher responds, and Bleeder responds right back to a 2v2. That bomb is centralized, and there's open space to look towards jungle. Chiron can cut one player off on the cross to the bomb site. And Bleeder's hoping that he's going to see Chiron peeking. In the end, he'll just plant down inside that smoke, not try and go for anything cheeky. Take the fight out from the open, and Chiron will get that kill.
Bomb planted for Cerber, though, and they don't have a defuse kit currently. I'm not sure if there's one dropped on the ground.
Zerba doesn't have that information either. He's going to wait. So make a move. Check for Chiron. Take the fight. Excellent headshot. You're right. Cypher Needs to move closer, trying to get up to position, but got caught with his weapon on his back, giving that kill towards Serber. A double secured for double up the rounds of mana. And even in the clutches, they still look like the better squad right now.
Tell me you're not loving the confidence in that repeat coming out of Serber, by the way.
I am.
The 1 versus 2 approach is actually mental. He's just playing this one as if it's a face-it puck. Look at the way that he gets the first kill, and then he just brings the fight to the second player, knowing that he's trying to shorten up the distance. And this is where the lack of, I guess, a smoke, a defuse kit, plays a massive role, because it was such an uncomfortable 1v2. Even if they do spot him out, even when they know what's going on, the moment they lose the first fight, the round is over, and now they reset. Run.
Got to get out of here, bleed up. Pistols coming his way. Unfortunately, Khan is lacking in the Kevlar department, so he won't be able to do much in terms of the damage now. At a HE that's another 40 HP or less than that. Eagles of Kyron and Cypher realistically now the only real men that can do much in terms of the kills, and they do manage to get one of them out of it, so that's something. Does it turn into any more of a threat, though? Kyron will get forced out of ladder room, but not to a casualty.
Careful.
And Serber only gets one of those kills. Okay, hang on. Sawalio, turn up a man advantage, and this could all come together right now for Mana. They have at least gained access to the B-bomb site, but no one's got the bomb.
Yeah, this is a little bit tricky. Scenario needs to go and get it. Does Kyron realize it and drop down under? I'm not sure he's going to do that. So Scenario should be able to cross safely, and they do have a little bit of veto. This should still be a very difficult round for the CTs to pick up.
Cross is trying to get held. Bomb plant will not be allowed just yet. They've got some time for it, though. SMG's at range. AK is trying to take fights back towards market. The short access is the bigger concern. Nemiga have 2 AKs to play with, but again, no real Kevlar for them, and a lot of HP missing on the CT side basis. Sawalio does strike back one. Amar with a responsive. Kaylee will get another kill as well. Looking for the next 2 players back now, both coming in from the short access. They will catch off Kyron. He will go down, and can't really get any more out of it. 3 players worth of damage, decent for an eco in totality, but they were very much on for that steal, not to be. The lead is taken by Mana.
Massive impact coming out of Kaylee in this round, by the way, and that's why we said that it was always going to be difficult to win the round, even when you get the next kill, because you have a bunch of players that are low on HP. You're coming in from different angles. They can push in towards kitchen. You don't have a kit. You're pressured for time. Not all of your players had armors as well. Kaylee's been saving them big time, though. It's still a round up, you're going to say, NT at the end of if you're an Nemiga. And Kaylee's been an interesting one. An interesting player in his development. Started his professional career around July of 2021, and he's been through a couple of mixes, but never the best Kosovian mix at the time. Now I guess it's fair to say that he's part of the one. And he has been the standout performer for this team. The next generation Flatro and Synopsy. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we're looking for. And Kaylee's fairly young. I mean, I guess you could say he's 24. He's been playing Counter-Strike for a while, but a lot of the people on his team are a lot more experienced. I mean, Serber is 27. Senner is 29. Bledard is 24 as well, but you know for how long he's been around. And Amar is the youngest one at 22, but it is interesting because Amar, Kaylee, and Bledard have actually played together for such a long time. On most of their teams, they've been together.
And maybe 4 together as Kyron finds triple on the lineups. Senna can take that one trade back, but what more can they do with it? 4v2 at the moment for Nemiga. They are in a wonderful position, all thanks to Kyron's efforts. All grouped up, no idea of the threat coming their way, and 30 seconds to recover now.
This is going to be tough. You're hoping for a mistake, hoping for an opportunity. Sypho needs to go down with an instant headshot, and it's not instant, but he will go down, and that's going to bait out the rotation from the upper. They've heard it. They're just going to sprint A. 15 seconds.
Swalow's got to hold the defensive. He holds against the first man. Now it's Serber alone. Ready for more presence to be around here, but needs that headshot desperately so. Can't quite do it. He's being toyed with by Sawalio, who lands his double in the end. Triple from Kyron for 3 on the board of the Nemiga side, equalizing its mana, trying to give us a bit more of a fight back here on map 2.
I wonder if that was the moment of miscom, because they do have the player in towards under. That was Senner. I'm not sure what he was holding for, if he was clearing out under or he was looking in towards window for whatever reason, but they had the smoke in towards top connector. They had the window smoke. Someone should have been holding for that peak. This is more of a mishap coming out of the side of mana. It's probably the easiest triple kill that Kyron could have been hoping for. You cannot really afford to have a lot of these moments if you want to close out the game in a 2-0 fashion, though.
Reset against the economy. Deagle pistols. Tech 9 out for Amar, and a couple of rifles. Will still formulate a force by overall. Economy being worked down by the Nemiga in that 1v1 clutch, especially, or 1v2 clutch that was one out. Savings are not allowed to build, money not allowed to compound, and Mana now have to suffer with that. Still could try the A site once again. 4 players with the top, 1 lurker at the apartments. That's Senna with the rifle, but his walk up, not force any rotations, not cause any mistakes out of the CT side. The AK on the A defensive will hold on to a little bit of damage towards Kaylee, damage the server as well. He's Deagle trying to get involved here. He knows to provide some support for the bomb to cross, but he continues to fight. Namar will go down. One player walks right past Kaylee, so we can get that kill switch up to a rifle, but can't with a responsive, and Swalio pulls that USP out to deal with Bleeder. That's advantage has now been taken by Nemiga.
Yeah, it's a great way to take control of that CT side. Now you've got a lot of the players upgraded to AKs. You've reset the T side economy, no bomb plant, meaning that you're going to be up against the full eco, so money's going to start racking up. They did try again to put pressure at different points around the map at the same time. I think T side wise, we've seen a lot of that from Mana on both the first and the second map. Probably the one thing you're not a fan of in that type of a situation is Scenery having one of the 2 rifles and having the only AK and being on the other side of the map in a round like this, right? You kind of want to have him around the pistol so he can play on a refrag or go in first and try and open things up.
Provide extra firepower to the execution and the actual, true objective of the round.
I mean, provide the only piece of firepower to the execution, really.
Yeah. All that potential, all that.
But hey, on the contrary, au contraire, as the French would say, if he does get a kill or a kill and a half on B with the AK, they probably just rotate away.
He walked out a little bit too far then, so still went down to give no impact in the round, and that of course leads to this eco, this harsher eco, which will get mopped up rather effectively. 4 players alive on the Nemiga side, so as you said, money can really build up, and the returning rifles will still be limited by 1 to 0. I've just seen that on semi part. So weapon advantage will sit with Nemiga just by a small amount, and it's a 5-3 scoreline, so 2 to the good. Mana to lose this round may also lose the half with it.
Yeah, it's D side, so we're not putting too much pressure on them to get a massive lead or get a very, very good showing, but 5-6 rounds on the offense, that will put you in a good enough position. You can't really afford to let Nemiga keep on getting these rounds. I like the maneuver out of Khan, though. Gonna get aggressive in towards B, blocking himself a little bit, but Lear has been able to get an opening in towards Connector in the meantime.
Yeah, the leg shot, nade damage. It's still going to be a kill back out from the palace position rather on Lear. Chiron going blows to with a bleed hour, and Kaylee gets back to Cypher. Swalio still hearing that footsteps, so he was aware that someone's trying to make a move against him. Drop out, kill just about goes his way at low HP. However, Kaylee's got to respond back towards Chiron. Look for the double, not quite able to connect it. Swalio doing God's work on the A anchorage, and Amar now has to go back towards the B side. Has got free access, so he can get to the plant position and get some bonus cashing for his team, but I mean, look, it's not going to be enough to go for the full-on buys here. He's going to go for the kills instead, and just runs right into Khan, whose AWP immediately gets the kill, and immediately gets another one for Nemiga.
I respect it, actually, by the way. Swalio was low on HP, so if Lamar is able to get the first kill into the AWP, he would have had an opportunity. But look at how solid Swalio has been on some of these A defenses. The fact that he's able to get the kill into the stairs player, this is the real difference maker. It was a good attempt coming out of Amar. Probably if he gets the bomb plant, I mean, not probably, but if he does get the bomb plant, they would have had the AKs out with the maximum loss bonus, so you could have a different opinion to how he should have approached that situation. Maybe prioritizing the bomb plant could have been the way forward.
Tech 9's going to go fast and loose into this one. We've seen a little bit of pacey play from Mana that has caught the Nemiga side off guard, but not in this map up. On that B execution towards Ancient, yes, but in this one, not so much. Up through mid, interconnect to Kaylee's taking some space back from ramp, but only has 1 kill out of it. Nobody else getting anything more. And now Nemiga have locked in their half advantage. Mana can only get 2 more to return into this half. The rifles will come back from them as well.
I think it's looking a lot more like what we expected to see since the start of the series, right? Chiron going 13-6 and having a very, very fun time. Swalio getting multi-kill after multi-kill in towards the A-bomb side, 12-5 for him. I wouldn't even say that Nemiga are necessarily running them over. I'd say that Sualio and Chiron are running them over. The rest are just doing their job. But Nemiga is finally controlling the map in a much more calm way. But again, Mana were very scary on the CT side of Ancient, not quite the T side. And you can tell that maybe ideas are not of plenty as we anticipated. A lot of defaults, a lot of slow rounds, a lot of situations where people are just trying to take individual space around the map. But as long as they get 4 or 5 rounds, I still feel like they could be able to show us something in that second half.
Nice HE placement on Senna. He's just not really allowed to do many more impact. And we talked about the fact that he was doing so well on the last map. Can you do well for this one? It's the polar opposite, 2 and 9.
Yeah.
Kaylee's been the main fragger. Senna's trying to recover on that much. It's Khan's AWP that lands out Amar elsewhere. That was a kill towards the apartment's lurk. In the mid-access. Doesn't even do much damage towards... Doesn't do any damage, in fact, towards Sypho. Kaylee's got to check the ladder room. And he gets caught off guard for it. Sypho down.
Yeah, fell asleep at the wheel. First kill found. Cerber actually showing a little bit of presence towards the A-bomb side. They still have the bomb dropped in TV. Who's going to take that?
I hope someone considers that, because for Mana, that would be an absolutely despicable sort of mistake to make.
They've lost the round. That's it.
I think they have. I don't think they realize it. The CTs, all they need to do is stay alive. They're drawing their attention out towards that A play, but now Bleedar's realized what's happening. He's going back for that bomb. Fast rotation needs to come in right now. Chiron's going to hold off as Senna and Kaylee get those kills. It's panic stations for Mana now. Sawalio, his attention is drawn. You're right about that. Khan is going to rotate back, and now it's going to be Kaylee to hold out. 14 seconds. He's tapping his way through, but the AWP's going to watch for him. Land that leg shot. He's pulled attention away. He's somehow got that kill. I can't believe that Mana are going to bail themselves out of this. Sawalio, half HP in a 1v2 clutch.
That's insane. How have they gotten themselves into that type of an opportunity? This could be what turns around the map, and Sawalio, he's going to get hurt every step of the way. Missed shot out of the Oper. Second player is low.
Jump face to check for that contact. There's no idea where Kaylee's reached position to. AWP trying to take an individual fight. They couldn't give away the 1v1 fights with these current angles. Sawalio fires back. Bleedar gets his pick in, immediately peeks to the right-hand side of that pillar. And will hold that forth just about, though, for Mana.
That's not a round that they should have won. It's not a round that you should be winning any day of the week. Look at the way that they're just being desperate. You just go for a lot of fights in towards the A-bomb side the moment you realize the bomb is so far away, and you're like, well, the only way we win this round is if we get the kills on A and actually make them feel like this is going to be an A play, make them rotate so we can get the bomb plant on B. This is what we love calling, ladies and gentlemen, a Face It Premium round. That's the vibe. But it worked.
If it works, it works. I don't think Mana are going to be complaining about it. Double AWP set up from Nemiga to try and close out the half here. One from Chiron into the apartments. The other on Khan. Back on the A ramp hold. It's mid-access on the defaults here for Mana. And no contact established. They try and double nade Senna's position again. This time he's actually a little bit further out. And Sypho gives up the opening kill to Bleedar back on short.
They know the Oper is on B, right? He was spotted by Amar, who was jumping in towards under. So as of right now, you know there will be a second player to rotate in towards that B bomb side. Amar should be playing very passively. This should be an A finish, if you're thinking about it. The second rifle should rotate to try and support the Oper. Anywhere you go, you're going into a 4v or a 5v2.
Especially as Bleedar takes down Khan.
Are they still going to be?
Chiron starts positioning towards, sure they are. Still going for it. The second man has rotated off that B site. They're about to get cut off. Oh, Bleedar's done wonderful in this one. Triple secured. Maybe even on for a quadries. We're looking out for Sawalio at present. And Kaylee in the flank angles as Chiron will connect one of those kills against Senna. The backstab's closing in. He won't last long. Kaylee will take him. And Sawalio now has no further chances. Will run right into the AWP murder hole, and murdered he shall be. 7-5 at the turn for Nemiga. Certainly at a better advantage compared to the last map, but Mana doing everything they can to recover their T side and move to the better half of their map pick when they return. To look to take over once again. The 2-0 is still on for them. Maybe a little bit less in terms of those star performances, but the fundamentals remain. Their map pick is still a factor to consider. And again, the better half of the CT side is up next for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the first half, it did give us a reason to believe that Nemiga would just bounce back into this one and, you know, level things up and run away with the map, and we go all the way and see that Anubis that we wanted so much. But the last 2 rounds of the first half are actually making me hopeful for Mana's chances here. You win the pistol round, you're going to put yourselves in a position where you could get a 7-6, 7-7. Notice what I did there. I ruined it for all of you.
Did the other way around, so it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Leader attacked first. It's first contact established by Nemiga, trying to get in towards that A-bomb site. Khan draws out first blood. Serba, the man to fall. Kaylee involved in the back lines, and Dark is getting left unchecked, so Amar can get a kill out of that one. Khan going to respond alongside Lear to reclaim the advantage. Bleedar's earlier tag is also dealt with. Center in a 1 versus 3. He's on 3 kills as it stands. He's to double that kill count to clutch this pistol win. Not going to happen. Scytho, instant swing and a hit. And it's pistol taken by Nemiga.
They're just so good with the pistols. They always have someone that's going to go on a multi-kill terror, right? Even throughout 2025, you remember Khan was actually always very, very decent when it came down to the pistol rounds. But a little bit unfortunate for Amar. He was in a position where he could have been able to save a couple of his teammates and maybe get a second kill. Always difficult to shoot at people from the back when they're just running around with the Glocks. You're aiming for the 1-bullet headshot. Force buy coming out of Mana, though. This is a bit of a hit or miss. You miss here, you're going to find yourselves down 5-10. But if you hit...
Still the second round break in the second half of the last map up, though, so it could still be a hit. Only pistols available, though, so make no mistakes. The Nemiga are still at the advantage with their rifles. 2 of which are AKs. The slow port of call contact. 4 men stacked over in the gamble towards the A-bomb site. It's just a hope and a pray moment for the Mana side. Nemiga, will they take the bait?
Kind of looks like it. They still have that 1 player going in towards Palace. A lot of mid-utility scenarios. Not spotted anyone in towards B. They should be on high alert.
Amar was searching towards Con. Now he's seen
Nated.
a man. HE. Damage pretty chunky onto Lear. The other players around him will take some damage. And now blind fire from Senna trying to come in towards this short access.
They've blocked
Put
him.
another nade down on Chiron. A smoke up top Con. And a player's going to lean forward of it. The footsteps will be heard, but Bleeder's just missed the mark here. Chiron facing him. Khan could get caught. It's all timing. Scytho is going to catch him. Bleeder first to fall in a round.
He was looking in towards window. This is so weird. Where do they go? 40 seconds. They need to go back A.
Still got 2 players to hold it. More nades start coming in. 1 man to cut the rotations back, support the B play for Amar. Serba watching ramp. And Kaylee back at CT stairs. 25 seconds. The Nemiga have to move now.
There's the comp player. Now you have the info.
Lear starts walking. Serba checks. No. Oh, he looks away at the wrong moment. Oh, this round came down to timings and timings alone for the Mana side. Kaylee with 1 pickup, but his teammates are falling, and now so is he. Senna, another clutch. This time a 1v4. And faced by the firing squad. Nemiga can take 9. High risk, no reward for Mana in this one.
I like the push through the smoke, by the way, but I think he overcomplicated it a bit, right? Because obviously he did hear that player jumping towards the window like 30 seconds before he goes for the fight, right? So the moment he pushes through the smoke, he's just staring at the window. He thought that they'd left 1 player there to control rotations, and that's because you don't have any vision in towards jungle. And they would just try and rotate back, so you're looking for that 1 kill to enable people to rotate back. This one gets a little bit scrappy. Unfortunate timing in towards the ramp as well. But now, as we pointed out, you do make the decision to go for the force buy. It doesn't quite work out, resulting in a full-on reset to the money. A tough spot to find yourselves in, no doubt. 1 flash. Interested to see where they go with this, what they do. Where is it? Amar, Jungle. All right.
Kaylee. Oh, that's a good shot. What more's available? Lear and Co will be heard back here. Mars Deagle takes down the bomb carrier.
Okay.
1 trade from Scytho is decent enough. Where's any more coming in from, though? Sawalio could get caught on timing.
Hello.
Indeed. He goes down towards Serba. The counter steal is on from Mana. It wasn't even a true on force buy as well. Serba will be seen. He will be taken aback by Khan. So it's back to a 2 versus 2. But do they think that's all there was? Bleeder still in Palace and undetected, unsearched by the T-side forces. The bomb also back up towards mid, and the Stairs angle, Carney will get caught. Sypho gonna try and commit towards the A play. Bleeder, can he catch him in the open? He's been seen now. Burst fire, doesn't connect. HG's towards his feet, 25 points of health. Khan will mark him, and will just hold the round together for Nemiga.
They're barely holding on, by the way, and running away with these situations here in Nemiga. These are all going so close, and it's just because you're at the bottom connector player, you're just thinking the bomb carrier will make his way in towards the bomb side. You're just overplaying your hand a little bit. You should probably be a little bit more patient. Wait for the sound cue. You have the unspotted rifle in towards Palace. There's a couple of nervous individual moves coming out of Mana, but I wouldn't say they're massive mistakes. It's just very, very small things that stop them from picking up rounds that they have no business winning either way.
Kill for Kaylee, kicks things off. Khan is down.
All right.
Sawalio trying to trade it. They're trying to get back on their high horse immediately for Nemiga. The bomb's been left away, so they haven't seen it just yet on the CT side. Just that early default to look for the opening pick will eventually formulate towards what seems to be a B hit.
Look at Kaylee. He's taking a very good position in towards Ninja right now, and he's not seeing absolutely anything in towards the ramp, in towards the Palace. Good timing on the block, and now they know it's going to be a B play, even though the bomb is far away. Chiron's just putting a little bit of presence, but even though they are slowing down and this is going to be a second wave play, this is not going to make anyone rotate away. It's just baited a little bit of util, but Amar still has a smoke and a flash.
And boosted to watch over from the mid-access center with a smoke. Sees one. Trying to engage him, trying to get that kill together. He will be able to do so. 3 on 3. Backup will turn his attention towards the site as well. Amar gets his kill, trying to double up. Sypho returns. Center sees 2, takes down 1 more. Sawalio now has 2 to contend with on his lonesome. Bomb plant, get tapped. He'll search. Will he get caught? He has seen that one rifle player. The HE sent his direction. Panic, spam. Seen the shoulder, seen the gun barrel of one player, but can't find a true body shot to connect towards him. He's running out of time. The CT is going to wait for him to extend. And a missed shot for Bleeder gives Sawalio another chance. 16 seconds. He's looking the wrong way. Kaylee will take him back. And Mana will get started in the second half.
That would have been too much. Mana deserved to pick up a round on that CT side. They've come close so many times. Look at the opening coming out of Kaylee. Massive response out of Sawalio. Good effort out of Amar and Sceneri playing on the back of each other. Sawalio did give it a good go with the ope. Not usually an oper, still puts it to good use. And now for the first time since the start of the second half, Jay, even though they have been winning the rounds, they had 3 in a row, I believe, because of how close they've been. Nemiga are actually experiencing some financial issues. They're on a Tech 9, Digo in the hands of Sawalio. You do have Khan's Hope though, and that's going to net you an opener.
Serber down. HE not doing much in the return of the M4 here. But Kaylee gets swung upon by Sawalio. Nemiga about to counter once again. 5 on 3. And where do you go from this? Where do you go with this here? HE's flash is being sent over. Yeah, safe call makes sense. I don't see any other way back in for them. I think neither do they.
It's very disappointing if you're Kaylee, by the way, because you've had so many good rounds, and it just feels like every single time in towards the A-bomb side, you need to get an opener or you need to get a multi-kill in order to hold on. I mean, look at the kill counts on the side of Mana. Sceneri's on 5 kills, Amar is on 7, Cerber is on 7, Blethard is on 6, Kaylee's on 23. Just for reference, all of his teammates combined have 25.
It's another great map from a great individual, but this time without the round to show for it here, it was like the total opposite basically for Senna on the last map up. He was fragging away like no man's business, and they were actually turning that into impact. Not so much here for Mana. I mean, their own pick of Mirage, 11-6, 5 to make up, and potentially another 12-6 map point, this time for the opposition.
I'd say there was a little bit more support for Scenario on the first map. I mean, he had these massive moments, but everybody else was helping him out as well, right? Kaylee's kind of on his own right now. We're not seeing the big impact moments out of anybody else. And this could be a bit of an issue. And, well, it already is a bit of an issue. I mean, we're 17 rounds in, and you've got one player who's got 2 kills less than 4 combined. That's not a good sign.
Mana need an answer. Need someone, preferably multiple people, to form around their main fragger. Kaylee played supportive initially against the first contact. Zerba will be involved of that initial PDM. Leans in, Khan takes him down, and Sawadio's going to cover off the forward man. The HGs will dish out their damage as Sawadio's tagged the 4 HP as a result of that, but no kills to go their way. Amar with 1, Lear with a response. Mid access taken. No players on the bomb site. 4v2. This round is done. There's nothing that Mana can do.
Yeah, this is just perfectly handled by the T's. Kaylee deciding to instead going for the smoke, just swing for the fight. Ooh, there might be an opportunity. Hold on a second. A 2v4, now a 2v2. You've overpeaked. They know about the Palace player, but he's already repositioning. Sypho, he needs to be the one to win the round. Bomb is planted for him on a reverse. So Walio is low on HP.
Senna's leaning up to try to catch his man. Is he going to extend out? Will he check the ticker booth? Not all the way. A stray bullet. If he held that spray, still would have been enough, but it wasn't. And Bleedar worked so hard to get something back in this round, but once again, a great moment from an individual, not able to be followed up by his teammates, and ultimately not turning to a round for Mana. It's map point for Nemiga.
I'm just not sure if this is the way that they wanted to play the bait and switch in towards the ramp, especially with how many times Kana started in towards ramp since the start of this map with the AWP. It's probably not the play to spot out the first player walking out and then just go for a repeat. You deploy the smoke. You might be leaving Amar on a bit of an island, but the bait is still good enough. Even if he goes down, you can still block them from going into the bomb site. If you go down there, Amar can't really back off. And he tried to jump right on top of them. Didn't work out for him. They have had some issues with that A bomb site so far.
Kill confirmed for Bleedar to start this round off, trying to G himself up, G his teammates on, and Amar will follow it up against Lear. So 2 men down in mid. A 5-on-3 established for Mana. Amar's going in for a little bit more as well, creeping up underpass. Probably he's going to catch the backstab. Depends on his teammates hold on to the defensive for now. The smokes will block. Player will get caught for tag damage. Amar here's 1 man rotating. Will he focus on that one individual? Have his back turned towards the AWP player. Those that one escaped could be on for 2 more instead. The AK and the AWP scene. Engage the first and the second. Nice and effective. A much better round for Mana. I can actually wonder why that's been all the half long so far.
I mean,
but it is one to recover for now.
It's probably the first time we've not seen early pressure being put from Nemiga towards one of the extremities straight away, right? And you can see that Mana are much more comfortable whenever they get to fight in towards middle, and whenever they actually get to play around the map a little bit more, and they don't really need to be worried about losing an early player towards one of the extremities. It doesn't disturb them as much. And I like the switch up out of Nemiga. They've been posing so many problems towards the CT side on A that they tried to switch it up, send 2 players in towards mid with limited utility, go for a B pop. Put your money on the fact that they would have an A lean to start. Doesn't really work out. And now again, money-wise, there is some issues. So, kind of like the previous map, there's no doubt which team has been playing better Counter-Strike. But the second team still has an opportunity to potentially catch up and force OT. And unlike Ancient, there's been a lot of close rounds here. A lot of ways that Mana could have been able to get more on the board. Ooh. They must have heard that.
HGs will come in for center to catch that player off. Lear will get tagged up to half HP. Khan decides not to stick around out there, and all will roll back with his teammates. They cancel that B movement. Senna's still going to watch out for Lear, so that first pick still goes away. Indeed, the shoulder bait's actually going to come out, but no shots connect. They still start to realize there's not going to be a B execution off the back of that, though.
It's actually not too bad, by the way, because they've baited a lot of the CT side utility in towards B. That's why you see a third player in Kaylee actually moving closer towards B, especially now that they've given away the fact that there's an open. The T still have a lot of nades to work with.
Mid access will get gained. That's information that the CTs can use to reposition with. The player aggressive short will adjust back passive. The man in towards mid to cut the rotations will now take some more jungle access. Amar waiting for that first reason to strike down against the T's side, but he's just going to back off, giving even more map control. Bleedar with the HE down at top com will reveal Swalio takes that opening kill.
You block them now. 35 seconds to smoke them in towards short. They're absolutely screwed up. And the bomb has just dropped. They're going all the way back under. They'll have to start running eventually.
Start doing it now. There's information to call out. Smoke will come on towards short access. Samar waiting for someone to make a move. Sypho gets down one of those players, but they continue their acceleration. They know it has to be an NB. Shot missed from the AWPs. He's flash blinded. Khan and Lear get those kills together. 4 versus 2 established. Should make it 1. No. Kaylee just about comes back on top in that one fight. The bomb plant can be secured. The AWP leads up. Oh, Bleeder. No scope, but they line up for Sypho. Grouped in for the AK to take him aback and take away the map pick of Mana. 13-7 for Nemiga. We're going to a third.
It's a massive response coming out of Nemiga. This is what we wanted to see. The absolute favorite going into the series. And maybe it wasn't on the team levels, but there was still a lot of scrappy moments, still a lot of close rounds, but big plays coming out of Chiron, coming out of Sualio, coming out of Khan. This was much more like it for the side of Nemiga. Not a team that gets dominated by one singular Mana player that has a good game, but a team that can persevere. And finally, Jay, in all honesty, use these pistol rounds for something that matters.
Indeed, and this is a lot more than Mega expected to see over on that Ancient. I thought, if anything, we might see the kind of Ancient on Mirage, and then Mirage the result over on Ancient. And so the Mega are back on track right here. They've re-established their presence, re-established their dominance, and now look to try and seek out a series counteraction, because I was seriously worried about the 2-0. Even you were saying it seems like it's on for the Mana side going into their home territory, but homes have been ransacked by the Nemiga side, and this is a huge response for them to take to try and maintain their lives here in ECL.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I feel like from here on out, the conversation has shifted once again. We're heading over to an Anubis. It's about that man have played just once during Draculan, and they won it 13-4 against Laguna. But you're looking at the record, the track record for the side of Nemiga, and it's one of their most played maps. They've won 3 in a row as of right now, looking very good on both the T and the CT side. So again, we are shifting the odds in favor of Nemiga at the end of that Mirage.
Indeed we are. Like, once again, you go back to that tangibility, the differences between the two sides, with Nemiga being competing in a much better position and a much higher level in the tier 2 space, with the tournament wins, with the events of the lands that they've been appearing in the CIS space. And again, as you mentioned earlier, Mana just 1 map on record. Was a good map, but it's only 1, and therefore not much info to pull from. So they're going to have to put in the hard yards. If they've been practicing Anubis, it's going to have to show right here and now. It will be our final map to decide if they are eliminated from ESL Challenger League after this break. Nemiga have bounced back and looking far superior compared to Mana on their opponent's map pick. Taking away Mirage in a pretty dominating fashion, and now we move to this Anubis where the whole series feels like it's now about to fall apart for the Mana camp. They've lost out their map pick in a much more dominating fashion, and, well, Anubis has no basis to play from for them.
It's very difficult to set realistic expectations for this map, isn't it, Jay? We have just one map on record from the side of Mana, as we pointed out a couple times since the start of this series. It was a map that they played on the 24th of February against Laguna, and that is a mixed team that I am not sure we can hold to a very high standard. So we're talking about a 13-4 win on LAN, and a map that, funnily enough, they did lose both pistols as well. Now, the reason I'm saying this for context, in case you're just joining in into that lower bracket elimination game of the ESL Challenger League Season 51 Europe Cup 2, Man have not picked up a single pistol round since the start of the series, Jay, and this has to change going into Anubis.
100%, and that's the reason why, well, that's one of the reasons, one of many reasons why I have faith now that Nemiga are going to stomp their way through this final map like they should have done in the rest of the series. Again, I had this down as a 2-0 personally because I thought that they were a far superior squad. They were obviously much higher ranked, much better in terms of their recent tournament results, in terms of their form. They were on a match winning streak until last night. They came into this one within the top 40 in the world, and it felt like that there was no real reason why you could look at the Mana side and say that there's a world in which they can maintain anything. And they'd have surprised me, of course, with how that Ancient went down, but you're going into home territory and you're not showing that same level of fight back. I mean, we talked about it during the end of the matchup, how only Kaylee was providing anything of any worth for Mana. Everybody else was falling behind, not contributing to bolster him. Senna went from top of the board to bottom of the board, from map to map, and well, I mean, Nemiga exploited that. They found their form. They found Sawalio. They found Cypher. They found Chiron. All players contributing, Khan contributing as well to individual rounds and individual great moments. And it just felt like they were a much more cohesive team by comparison. And they have a lot better history on this map up compared to the one that we've seen from Mana so far.
I think at some point, Nemiga realized that they don't really need to overcomplicate stuff too much, right? That Mana are not going to overcomplicate stuff too much. It will be a pretty simple approach. Spreading around the map, trying to play a default, individuals going for peaks, looking for timings through smoke, speaking on the back of a contact that's been made towards the other side of the map. And at some point, it just felt like Nemiga realized that, and all the individuals started being a little bit more focused, anticipating the weird fights, winning a lot of them. And good news for them, Anubis is that type of a map where they can keep it very casual on the T side, right? And Lear knows damn well how to make a T side on Anubis look very good. You group up, play together a lot. Adopt that Wolfpack mentality. Just keep it a simple game. Don't let Mana make it scrappy. Go with the basics, the A, Bs, and Cs, and you should be alright.
We're into the A site for Nemiga, so we'll start off on the right foot with the pistols going live for the final map up of this best of series.
We don't have a C-bomb site, unfortunately. It's the better
what
FPS,
do you think
guys.
This is, Valorant?
Yeah, I didn't want to name it. Didn't even want to mention.
Sawalio draws that first blood, but Amar and Kaylee are going to try and fight back here, trying to prove that there is something ahead of this Mana side. Man advantage taken as a result of that. 2 down outside of main, including that bomb being dropped. The B side lurker also been seen by Cypher, and it draws attention to return, so they can take that chance to get that bomb to return back in the backs of one T side player, and eventually start leaning in to the B access. Amar trying to fight, does get taken down.
That's a big kill. Still 2 more players in towards the back of the B-bomb side. Though Glock is good for one. Scenario switches back to the USP. Dancing on an island looking for the headshots, but there's simply too many people on his screen to do anything about it. Khan with a triple. Pit 250 put into good work, and Nemiga keep their spotless pistol round record.
5 out of 5. 1 and not returned a single time from the Mana side. They're continuing to compound this problem. At the very least, they have at least 1 break round steal into the second half of Ancient.
Yep.
And that was the one that ultimately turned that map towards their favor, and they caused the economy situation to get worse and worse for the Nemiga. Now, got their pistol upgrades, they've got their SMG on Cerber, they've got a little bit of firepower to play against this Nemiga side. They aren't looking all that amazing in terms of their own buy state. They've got more of the MAC-10s and the Galil in the hopes that they can get a quick and easy set of money bolstering sort of kills.
Sure.
Kind of ones that get your economy in the right place, and Mana would catch them off guard with that. Depends how Nemiga will respond towards them.
Double nade in towards middle, double molly as well. Make sure all of these close angles are taken care of. It's a good little approach. They're gonna get smoked off deep, which should discourage them a little bit from proceeding forward, especially because, you know, there's a bunch of pistols on the other side of things. Deep smoking towards the temple, though, and now you've spotted the Deagle, so you can start disrespecting the Ito. They still haven't committed to a bomb side, which is something I like. 50 seconds. They still have a little bit of time to work with. It does start leaning towards them doubling down and going back B, though, and I think this is what you want to go for. You've pushed one player away from tempo and he's probably rotated A. You've spotted another guy jiggling towards camera, meaning there will be at least one more player on A. So they're starting to get the right feel for the situation. And that smoke should keep the A players at bay.
Yeah, you saw that rotation coming in from Kaylee back at CT spawn. He ends up actually recommitting via the beach. Lamar, 5-7 versus 3. The mental moment. Doesn't come in. He goes down, B site is lost, and it's likely the round should be done from there. You see one rotator again, but the other 3 players on A are going to step back and hold their weapons. Eventually, Kaylee will join them. Have a bit of a better weapon basis to play from in the true eco round for them. No real investments required out of matter. A 2-0 start for Nemiga.
It's a very good mid-round call coming out of Nemiga. That's one of the reasons that I was very excited when Lear got reintroduced back to the team, or one of the reasons. Maybe not very excited when he got reintroduced, because I kind of, I guess, could expect, as one should, what we would see out of Lear, but I feel like him and Box have always worked very well together. And the organization did try and take a different turn. Box got removed, then he got reinstalled as the coach. Lear got removed, then he got reinstalled as the IGL. I feel like at this point they've realized that Lear and Box have gathered a lot of experience together. Obviously Box is, and we've heard that out of many players, probably responsible to 90% to the progress of a lot of the players that have gone through Nemiga over the years, the Counter-Strike they play, but it just feels like they have a very good synergy with Lear. And now Lear is an experienced IGL. He's an IGL that's led a team all the way from an MRQ, which was a thing back in 2025 still, to top 16 of the major, right? And he's still fairly young. So now that you have that extra experience of Chiron and you have those young guys of Sualio and Saifo, this just looks like such an exciting project. And you can see that Lear is a little bit more experienced in the way that he's navigating a lot of these rounds, a lot more composed.
Also, I was a bit worried when the whole like Box subbing in and also subbing out rather, and Lear also getting bench situation was going to pan out with Whiskey Bob taking IGL and Zoma standing in as a coach. I wasn't certain how that was going to work to the favour of the Nemiga side, and they have gotten past that period. And to the better for it as well.
Yeah, stay true to your day ones.
Since August 2022, Lear's been in this organisation.
Yeah, it's all about the loyalty. It really isn't, but in their case it works.
I was going to say, I was like, hang on a second, I have to like put 2 key stars to the tier 1 space now, like, hang on. Man up. Lost their first on Amar in the mid position. The T's are going to hold their defaults. Chiron tagged up a little bit by the blind taps of the 1P250. Cerberus SMGs right around that corner. Now he can catch off Chiron, and they kick it off the garden towards the mid position almost entirely. Cerber aggressing. AK was with a 1 and 2 for Khan. Now back up in the back, standing to come in from the site itself. They're not ready for Sonari though. His strike back leaves it all on Saifo. Sees him, tags him. He's low HP, and Sonari should go down. Bleeder is the next big concern though. Smokes ahead of camera. Deeper smokes from Saifo will try and recover the bomb. Bleeder repositioned to Saifo. Thinks it might be back at the tempo entrance, and he picks his angle correctly to win that fight through the smoke and take a third, clutching one for Nemiga.
Oh, it's just the lack of armor, I think. The first bullet that he lands just makes the crosshair go Macarena on the other side. And look at the double kill coming out of Khan. That was great effort. Big clutch coming out of Saifo. Yeah, no armor on Bleeder, so the moment that the first bullet connects, he just can't see a thing anymore. He can't control the crosshair. That was a very terrifying one. Let's not forget, they did lose a full eco on Ancient once, Nemiga on the T side. They nearly did it a second time in the span of just one series. We love losing eco rounds.
Indeed we do.
We do. I adore it. How boring of a game would Counter-Strike be if we didn't have the eco round losses? Very boring, probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Nemiga might be happy with the fact they lost 4 players thanks to that eco, but they didn't quite take the concession, so can maintain this start disallow Mana to get on the board just yet, although a perfect chance to start swinging economy momentum towards the favour of the CT side if they can secure round 4. They've got their rifles out. The AWP Bleed are tagged up by so much util though. Another nade landing right at him. He's on 6 points of health. And if exposed, if sussed out by Cypher, he's getting closer. Bursting far onto the opposition actually towards Glyph.
Eyes on Lear. He's going to be the difference maker in this round, by the way. They are grouping up for a B play, and sure, the B defenses are going to be important, but Lear has got a very good opportunity to make a move in towards middle.
The B defenders are counteracting the nade damage with some nade damage of their own. Chiron now down to less
Failed
than
Molly.
30. Sawalio on half HP. And Lear starts creeping. His presence is known because he put that smoke out at camera. The blind taps the scenario. You know, try and hold on. Get something lucky back of his own right. Bleedar starts to hold. The AK checks out from Electric. Bleedar gets his kill. He struggles with a player over a Glyph. Amar strikes back. Bleedar with one of his own, and Chiron comes up with Lear's counter flank. He will get the bomb, put it down. Chiron needs desperate support from his teammate, though. His captain needs to lead by example. Ooh. He doesn't set a good example there. Sonari takes him. Chiron needs a sequence and a half to clutch this.
Repositioning towards middle as well as massive out of Sonari. Does Chiron walk away from the bomb side? He's still waiting for the Temple player.
Tenno's making a lot of noise here. Chiron should hear him. Turn back. Needs to be perfect, and that's what he is. Lose back to the second, but no! The quick scopes off Kilter. And Serber can clutch the first for Mana.
That was so close. The moment that he gets that kill as well, I can put money on the fact that Lear was just screaming, it's another guy. It's a different guy. The guy that killed me in Temple, this is him. So now you're looking for somebody else. He's not coming from Temple. He's either coming connector or CT, and maybe that's what he thought. He just tried to bring the fight over to server so quickly. It was a good attempt. Very good effort out of Chiron. In reality, he probably just needed Lear to win that fight in towards Temple. Another big kill coming out of Sonari there. If he goes down to Lear, this was probably round over. I'm starting to love this one, Jay. This is getting exciting.
Yeah, early doors might favour the Nemiga side, but Mana...
Look at Cali.
Continuing to try and bring the fight back towards them. The Orput
They don't know.
firing first on Bleeder. Khan lands a leg shot on the up front player of Senna. He gets tagged, but Kaylee's the man credited with the kills. They should be aware of the extended presence coming in from the CT side. AK doesn't want to get greedy. The Orput could receive him. Bleeder's hoping for an overextension. He won't get anything for his trouble, though. Just that man advantage held in at the start.
That was such a big play. Taking space in towards middle, you know you have it for free basically on the back of that aggression and the players you spotted in towards connector and towards canals, but the CTs know as well, and Kaylee's already rotated in.
Temple control. Bleeder's AWP doesn't land anything. Gets back out of the way. The M4 try and fight. Down towards Lear. They're aware the two players up close and personal in main. Chiron and Sawalio take down the two. Sonari was easy at low HP, but Serber couldn't hold his nerve, couldn't hold his defense, and now conceding that bomb site, that bomb plant, they're being stalled out of the retake as well.
That has to be a safe call. Eyes on the money on the CT side. You don't really have any. No defuse kit either. Oh no, actually, sorry. I'll correct myself. They have one, but Kaylee's down to 50 HP. You've got an AWP on that retake. Not a lot of utility. It's just not worth it. Not worth the risk. And it's all about that presence in towards middle. All about pushing Bloodart back with the AWP. That is what made Scenario actually start moving forward. We didn't quite catch it in real time. It was happening on the minimap, but they were playing that anti-flash setup in towards A main, right? And Scenario was the one tucked into the corner. The moment that the AWPer spots the Mac 10 and gets pressured a little bit, Scenario starts moving forward because he's thinking, okay, if they are entering the A-bomb side, we don't have anyone holding the cross for us anymore. We can't allow them to crunch. We need to be the ones making the move. We need to catch those players coming in from A main potentially. Nemiga were just ready for it though. As you pointed out, he's low on HP. Gets dealt with by one bullet, and then the second player didn't really have a lot of opportunities as well. So this is a lovely push and pull coming out of Nemiga. Good understanding on what the reactions from the CT side should be.
Mana's save weapons will allow the broken rebuy to come back in for them, so And try and counteract Nemiga again, try and return their confidence, return their stun. Look at the play in from Sawalio though. Ahead of the Molotov, ahead of the flashbangs, and gets that kill on Bleed. I was not ready for him to make that peak. Had util pulled out. Only half HP of damage returned to the T side.
It's another very cool reaction, by the way. You're playing a game of basically trying to guess where the Oper will be at the start of the round, right? The moment that you have mid control and you don't have anyone seeing an Oper, the Op firing a shot in towards middle, nothing's going on towards B, and the CT smoke themselves in connector alone, that signalizes the Oper is not on the left-hand side of the map, probably. The A players are on such high alert. That's why you see all that util. That's why you see the smoke, the molly, the flash. All of that was designed to try and get rid of Bledard. And it works out perfectly.
Senna finds Sawalio for a returning frag on the CT side. A swing in from several players out of B main, getting very little for their trouble. Lear does land on Katie, and Mars now revealed. Khan's got the bomb on his back, and the AWP focuses up that shot. Is he ready for Sonari? He has to check out this cliff position. The AK swap too, and Senna's caught on the jump up, throwing his accuracy off, throwing his life away. And the bomb secured by Khan. The AWP Serber needs to hit it. He also takes another miss, and this time Khan can punish in hold. Triple secured, 5th on the board of Nemiga.
These steals have been absolutely massive. There goes the triple kill coming out of Khan. And this is slowly but surely going towards this conclusion. Opening kill coming in, massive response coming out of Lear and Khan as well. Unfortunate scenes for Center. Mouse jump leading to him going down, leading to the CT side not having a lot of money after this one. How about you're already looking at potentially 6-1 on that T side for Nemiga. A quick update for everybody else. Sangao have just eliminated the Musketeers after 13-2, 13-4, 2-0. We've got TDK and Havu just starting map 3 on Dust 2. Havu won Mirage 13-5 there. TDK answered back with a 13-9 on Overpass. Now they're looking at the third. What is going on, Jay? What is going on? Hold my hand.
Well, they're looking at a third. We're looking at a steal right here for Mana. The Hero M4 not even required as the SMG and 5-7 take down 2 men of Khan and Sawalio. They're looking to pressure even further with the map control stolen. Cypher is going to try and find another angle to play with. Senna and Kaylee are both low, but someone needs to pick up these kills. Kaylee could get spotted. M4 of Mars in support. And the AK of Cypher's expecting an extension. He may well just get his wish right here. It's slow with the uptake, but the CTs have to go in dry. Kaylee down.
You're ready.
M4 challenge at the elbows. Seen, sprayed, and taken aback. We're back to a 3-on-3.
It's such a big double kill. Stabilizes the round, looking for a third. Cypher was just having fun. Let him have a rifle. Let him have a little bit of space. And the 1v1s is like he's playing a pre-fire map right now. A triple out of nowhere with the AZ golden stickers on the AK. Now that's a blast from the past. I just seen that.
Goddamn AZ.
Goddamn AZ. What is he up to nowadays?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, me
I haven't
neither.
kept up with him ever. I can check Wikipedia and find out for you.
I mean, I can tell you he's not playing, and I can do that without checking Wikipedia. Might be playing
Did he
some
retire?
pods.
Because last I checked, he was still, well, he wasn't like still active.
Oh, he was
still like coaching, I think, for Preezy, if
Preezy.
memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
He's the last thing he was doing.
Yeah, he was doing that. I don't know if he's doing it still.
Left in July 2025, according to Wikipedia. So
Right. Well, we hope AZ's doing well.
yeah,
He was always a very entertaining player to watch.
his impact felt in server with stickers only.
I
Very
would
appropriate for a legacy.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. He had a couple good moments. Had a couple good.
Well, in the here and now is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. And here and now, yeah, sure, yeah.
Good couple of picks out of center, going to make it expensive for the T side as we close out the round. Decent enough, but it was a bit of a heavy investment. It's still a half by though, so to get away with an AWP, not too terrible for the mana count. And Nemiga still up to a 6th on the T side board.
On paper, it's a good round. On paper, it's very expensive. You have the money, you can go for the investment. The thing is, you're down 1-6. This is easily recoverable.
Yeah.
We're talking about the CT side of Anubis. You get 3-4 rounds, and you're suddenly in with an opportunity for the second half. It's just the fact that you've been coming close, but you're not able to get that one round. I feel like you get the second, you start building on top of that, you have an opportunity to get a very solid first half.
The AWPers trying to extend out. They're desperate to try and take this map control away from the T side, attempting to get aggressive into canals, something the CTs have been trying to do since the map was updated.
Now, that's problematic. Look at the CT side utility, by the way. They don't have any smokes, they don't have any molotovs, they've used all of them for that initial aggressive play, so not getting a kill is an issue. And now the gun barrel's been spotted, Chiron's just going to Ferrari peek the player on the boost, and this is so much information. One more canals, one more A main. You've got the entire map, and Chiron has just walked into our CT spawn. And Amar's got no clue.
This bomb's going to end up being...
Oh, he's got a clue. Bleder is waiting for him.
He lands it.
There you go. Now you know they must have been grouping up for a B play.
As quick as they do that, they cancel, and Bleeder starts searching for more contact, and none are going to present. No man out towards canals. I mean, there's one player outside of the canals itself, but he's not peeking into access, and expecting more backstabs of the CT spawn angle as well. There's a lot of options available to Nemiga because they don't have an inkling as to how many players pushed up mid. They have an inkling to how screwed Cerber is at the moment. He's the only man holding back at the A bomb site. Armadas get here to position to try and provide support at the right moment. Khan turns away, and now that should start to send them 10 seconds. Cerber can't get a killing as the right man. Amar gets cut back by Sypho, who becomes the hero of the moment for the Nemiga side. Bledar has to save the AWP. No choice in the matter. Again, so close for Mana, but not enough.
That's what we were talking about as well, right? It just feels like they're putting themselves in a good position, but Nemiga are always reacting so well. You see all that utility, all that presence, the opening towards water, and you just decide, hey, you know what? We know you're going to leave us a gap in towards middle, but the same thing is, also, we know you've just used around 80%, 90% of your utility, and you need one kill in order to make all of that worth it, right? You invest so much utility and so much manpower into towards canals, you get one kill, you get out of there, it's fine. But if you get a none for none, and the T's are just waiting out and they don't use any util, they just let you hold on to the map control, and then you have to hold on eventually. You have to keep it up, you have to not keep it but let it go. They can just do whatever. They can start contacting in. They know the Opera was in towards the B side because of the short from connector. So Chiron just takes the space. He's got a 1v1 and wins it. That transpires into another kill. Another big multi-kill coming out of Sawalio after they lose Chiron in towards B. It's just very protocol, very normal decision making out of Nemiga, and individuals taking initiative whenever they're in a position to do so. We've seen good moments out of Sawalio, out of Chiron, out of Sypho, out of Khan. Everyone's just playing good CS on Nemiga right now. Pretty tough for Mana.
Indeed it is. A rifle game. To a tactical pause, now leading into this 6-round deficit that they can no longer win the half with. They're expected the T's to do as well as they have done, but scoreline margin is something that Mana would have really loved to have avoided. Talked about the strengths of the map compared from Nemiga to Mana, and this time the strengths of Kaylee and Amar are going to come out to play with. They get 2 for 1 of the trades. Sypher looking to walk forward towards B main, though. Amar's been seen. Amar takes a secondary casualty. The man runs out of ammo. Lear will try and chase him down. He's the only man on the B bomb site right now. There could be trades later in the round itself, but Lear's fighting for map access, but he doesn't get it this time. Amar takes him for a triple in the round overall. And a big sequence that finally starts to go well for Mana this time. Last man of Sawalio should get hunted, should get faced, and should fall sooner or later.
Yeah. Flash in the face, surrounded by a lot of players, and eventually will go down. Now, second round on the board, and as we said, because of how close a lot of these rounds have been, Nemiga are actually in a spot where they have one more buy available, and then they could get reset. So this is a way back for Mana. Finally able to win that one fight that could have brought Nemiga back into the round. That was the 1v1 against Sypho that was walking out of the B smoke, right? If he gets that kill, it's a completely different round. But finally, someone on the side of Mana is able to step it up. Deny Nemiga getting back into such an unwinnable scenario. You get 4-5 rounds out of that first half. This is job well done if you're Mana.
Good shot for Bledar. Sawalio first to fall in the mid access. The Molotovs and smokes will try and come in to block him. He leans in for a second, wins the fight
way.
against Khan. Wow, I don't know what kind of magic juice was given to mana, but clearly he has increased their mana as they don't have the rights to go in for those kind of peaks. Nemiga cut down in an instant. Another 5-on-3 advantage for the CT side.
They should save. I don't want to be the one to say it, but you should just pick up the open and think about holding onto your guns, boys. Unless that boost and you felt it, so he's heard it, and you're still gonna go, but now he's just gonna get a free kill, because, yeah, I mean, he doesn't get the kill, but at least you know he's there. You're not gonna make it past him. They should save. They've got no money left. It's a 3v5, 1 minute on the clock. You've got no map control, no real estate.
And they're still searching here. If a kill presents, they might end up trying to risk it.
They'll execute B. They still have 2 smokes and a bunch of flashes. They want to get a bomb plant, so they have a little bit more in the next round. They still believe they could win the round. Thing is, Amar's still got a molly on 30 seconds.
And the timing's perfect on it. HE as well at the ready. First contact on Lear, seen him. HE comes up. Kill comes in from Bledar's AWP in the back lines. He does get smoked to the cross, but they do back away. They save their guns. Eventually, Nemiga have a good sense to keep the 2 weapons in. Next round bye will be rough for them as well, so... Mana to lock in a third. They are hunting these last couple of players as well. The AWP stays. Chiron needs to back off. Desperately so. Getting another kill out of it, but will die after time. Lear will get chased. Okay. He is lucky to be...
died.
No, he did go down.
He died.
He did go down.
What?
A tick within it. Oh, that's disastrous for Nemiga now.
It felt like he... That was so close. That's probably the closest kill to the reset of the round I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I thought he did stay alive.
Same. I thought so too.
Wow. Chiron's got $100. Lear's got 200.
This is going to affect the next round by the last round of the half.
Yeah. Absolute
Try to get in
recession.
towards the B site and try to get a bomb plant out of this round if possible, but I mean, you bang on the you hit that right on the head, right, with that one. Like it is disaster times for their economy.
Yeah, it's like trying to I don't know, get an overpriced coffee in Copenhagen with just $100. You can't do it.
Something tells me you've got like an experience in that.
It's not $100, but it's a little bit lower than that. I do have it, and I do like the overpriced Copenhagen coffee. Yeah.
So you're telling me you paid $100 for a...
No, not 100. No. It was more like 17, 18, which is still a lot when you think about it. It's very, yeah. Copenhagen is a very expensive place.
I've only been there once, so I can move into Sweden after the fact, so I've never been there, so...
I mean, Sweden is pretty similar. If you did go to Malmö or Stockholm. I guess Malmö is a little bit cheaper than Stockholm, but...
Well, the Stockholm and Lund. That's all it's been for me so far.
Alright.
7-4. Nemiga would love to go into a 4-round advantage and kind of mirror image what we had from the first map to the second. Fast in, the Mac 10 players.
Careful.
Trying to rush down center first up here. HE's coming in. Molotov's burning away at the T side line, and Senna can get that kill, but he also gets warned back by Lear. Amar struck down Cypher elsewhere, so one of those riflers caught back at the B main aggression. Haley also searching out towards the mid position and back over at the canals. Sowalia picked up over at the main entrance towards A, but Orpa just barely catching a pixel worth of him. And a 4-on-2 established by Mana. Should look to close it out from here as well. Amar's ready for Khan. And they get a shot against him. Lear going to watch for the Orpa. Amar will drop. Bledar can't really reface it. The B-side's opened up, so the plant can be secured.
He's very loud with that op. They've heard him. 100% they know he's in towards CT spawn, and they do have the util to actually make it safer for a bomb to go down. Molly's going to land right on top. Not going to prevent the bomb from actually being planted. No one looking towards B main though. It's a lovely double kill coming out of Kaylee. 5 rounds on the board. Mana bringing this one back with 5 on the CT side of Anubis, leaving everything up for grabs in that second half.
Mana have recovered the situation. Could have been a bit of a disaster from a 7-1 advantage, but it's 7-5 at the turn of the half. Nemiga in a very good spot still with the T side in mind. Mana now with a chance to return, though. This is their big shot. This is their big chance to still post up a fight like they did over on Ancient.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very interesting third and final map. We were anticipating this entire series to be a bit of a blowout, right? A 2-0 for Nemiga, just another day in the office. But Man have been putting up a very good shift here in the lower bracket. Started it off with a 2-0 win over AKA Heroes. Kept it going with an FF win over EC Banga, then a 2-0 over the polar side of the Rebels, a 2-1 win over the Rottweilers, and now they're here against Nemiga, putting up a very good fight. Third map already, 5 rounds going into the T side. One would say that Mana technically should be in the better spot.
We'll find out how far that spot can go. Pistols are live. Nemiga look to try and end Mana's lower bracket run. Eliminate them from the ECL for this edition. Dually sets on Sawalio and Cypher. Sawalio's caught off first. That's Serba with the opening kill of the half. The final pistol round. Chance for the Mana side to finally get one out of this, with Kaylee and Bleeder also getting 2 back in a return. Chiron and Cypho, 2 versus 5. And the lower bracket run may stay alive at this stage. Cypher's trying to fight back. He does do so, but both men reveal themselves towards B. So A will be the hit. The bomb will be secured. It's a 2v4 retake.
That's such an RNG round, by the way. They're never going for that retake. They should be holding on to the armors, the dual berettas, the USP. You can play for some exits. Chiron? I'm not really sure if he does want the smoke. He will stick around.
Trying to look for an exit or two. Toying with him though. Cypho set towards camera, scene 1. Bledar will take him, and that will give nothing more away here. Chiron's still going to look for the exit frag just for the sake of it. Nemiga are about to lose their lead. A pistol win for Mana. And I talk about the underdog streak that they've had in terms of the lower bracket. I mean, talk about the pistol streak that we've seen out of the Nemiga side in this series. 5 out of 6 won by Nemiga. The only one that has gone against them was this one for Mana, and that could be their ticket back into the game.
It could be the most important one as well, right? It's just the walk-in towards the canals. First player not really recognizing the risk. Jumping Glock onto the second kill. Wow. And this is only the second Anubis this Mana lineup has played this year. It's one of the best maps for Nemiga, in case you were wondering. It's probably what Nemiga thought Mana might ban going into the game. And now you end up being in such a tough spot, CT side. Probably a leveled game, just a couple pistols. It's not really a force buy, so not a lot that you've put into this one. You will drop one of these, but the USPs are actually doing a decent amount of damage. Surely no more.
No, Khan's got another one. He gets a third.
Oh my god! What?
Oh my god! What the?
No.
Okay.
No.
He's got an AK. The bomb's back towards the A bomb side. I think he knows that Serba's gone the other direction, but surely this is a. There's no way.
I mean, no matter
there's
what.
No way.
No matter what, they've already lost this round, Mana. Even if they win it, they've lost it. That's a full eco, and they've lost 4 players, and they've given Khan an AK. Even if he decides to just turn around and hold on to the AK and the smoke, this is already a win. He's got enough money for an up next round because of the kills.
He's pressing, though. He wants more. Oh, he wants more.
He should realize he doesn't have this. The moment that he sees the bomb planted where it is, he should realize, okay, he's an A main. I don't have the time. I need to just save.
He's making noise. He's made some noise, at least. He will back off in the end. Massive round for Khan. He heard the footsteps. He knows he's out there.
Yep. He was afraid of getting spammed through the windows.
Oh, good spot to avoid that. So 7-all. None have equalised, but I mean, Nemiga got away with way too much. I mean, Khan got away with way too much. There's a pistol that he pulled out with 3 kills to his name.
The wild part is, after the first kill, he was already on 35 HP, and then he had a 1v1 in water against a rifle. He wins that, and then he has another 1v1 against the Galil, and he wins that as well. And 35 HP with a USB.
does cripple the savings counts. Look at the money in reserve for mana in this round. The buy state will be there with the AKs and Galils to return. But if they get countered, the swing will go the way of Nemiga, and they could really run away with this scoreline once again. They need to get a handle on this mana. And I guess you could say the same for Nemiga, given the circumstances. CT side, take every opportunity you can to turn back the tide against the Mana side that have posted up a surprising fight. A Mana side that you certainly would have expected to be the heavy favourites over. And their style, tenacity, and willingness to compete.
All right.
On this far for now.
That's not the greatest sign ever. You might be a little bit afraid to go for the boost from here on out. They have heard the jump. At least you have Scenari up in towards middle, but other than that, it's just another default. 50 seconds on the clock already. Not a lot of util left on the T side, actually. 1 smoke, 1 molly, and 2 flashes. Where are we going with this one, boys? What's the plan?
Senna flashed in against, they've completely evaded it. Lear gets that kill straight up over the temple entrance. Meanwhile, Chiron in Electric gets one of those kills. Blind sprays a Bleedar, going to reveal himself. The AK gets recovered by the CT side player instead. Lear watches main. Bleedar jumps in, and Chiron gets one more kill on the way out of the round. Cypher can trade him. And Nemiga have found that reset, 8-7. No money available for mana.
It's like they expected something to happen around the map, but it just never did, right? And then it's a desperation walk in towards middle. Let's hope that they're not gonna re-clear me, hope that no one's gonna see me, or hope that they give me a fight and I win it if I'm center. Then you're pressed to go through the connector smoke. A little bit worse for wear. And they do need to go for the forest buy here. So you're working with 1 Galil, molly in towards the window, a bunch of pistols, and a little bit of util. 1 molly and 2 flashes left.
Damage down the center is quite heavy. Flashbang's keeping both sides blinded, but he's on 18 points of health. Stray bullets should catch him soon. Cypher in the meantime on the B defensive, seeing so many players acting out towards main, who gets one of them before he goes down. Chiron with a follow-up on Kaylee. Serber, good burst. Can't quite land the triple as returned on by Cerberus Tech 9. No damage done towards him. He's picked up that M4. Sonari, P250 instead has managed to line up clear. So they're also doing damage with pistols of their own right here, Mana. Not quite the full eco USPs, or Glocks in their case. 3 men have fallen. A 4th would be lovely, but at 18 HP, you're kind of doubting it from here. The bomb is also in CT control.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't really matter as much in a round like this. As you pointed out, it's still good because you are trying to keep the CT side economy at bay, but you are on a full eco in the next one regardless. So no matter how many people they lose, as long as they win this one, they will be able to fortify their financial walls going into round number 17. And Scenari, he's going to take his time. Go around the world. Issue is both of them are playing in towards that connector area, so no matter how far away he goes and how many circles he makes around them, he's not going to catch anyone from behind. It's a perfect setup.
M4 AK. Reverse crossfire. Then I can grab the AWP though. Surely he can break this. Oh, Khan! Soalio takes him back, but you saw for a moment an alternative reality in which he hits that second kill. Not to be though. 9-7, and it should equate to a harsher eco here to get the true guns back in the next one. Nemiga not gotten away cleanly in these rounds, but they've gotten away from them regardless.
You should have seen the look on my face the moment that he gets the first kill, by the way, because there was a chance for him to reset and actually find a quick scope or the no scope onto the second player. It was a good attempt coming out of Scenari, but as we said, close but no cigar doesn't really help you under these circumstances, because now you're down to the eco, and Scenari's going to be the only one on the Digo, everybody else with the good old Glocks. Glock him out, Glock him down. Man's already down.
Everybody else should follow suit soon enough. What the Deagle Bleeder can do.
You want to play a fun game here, Jay?
Go for it.
All right. If you had to switch your nickname to one of the nicknames of the players on the server, which one would you pick? Not as a caster, but just in general, you know, as a gaming nickname, the one that you tune into a game,
probably,
you know, you play.
Probably Khan, I'd say.
Khan?
Khan sounds cool.
Sure.
Like the 1.6 player, you know.
Or like the like the famous historian figure, one of the greatest leaders in the history of humankind. You know, Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Khan is more of a title.
Yeah, not as important as the 1.6 player.
Oh, yeah, no, Khan is a title. So there's a lot of people that were Khans before. Yeah. I've always thought I'd go for Chiron. I just think it's a cool nickname.
Nah, Khan's cooler.
Nah.
I'm right, you're wrong. That's the end of the discussion of this one. Guns up for mana. Rifles got away pretty cleanly from Nemiga this time. No damage being done in major amounts. 1 casualty taken. And money has been rebolstered as a result of that. CG Utility outside of main, flashing the way forward. The blind sprays of Surler getting nothing done for it. Sawado gets the kill. Khan inserts himself towards a crack angle. AK close from Kaylee. Gets them both back, and the A site has collapsed as a result of that. That was all their defenders pushing so much emphasis towards that angle. Amar nearly gets caught towards mid, but he gets away alive at less than 30 points of health. This bomb's going down in the meantime. Lear will try to deny it as Chiron extends. He gets that casualty to bring in a man advantage. Now the captain needs to hold a more solid defensive. Hearing Kaylee's footsteps, knows that he's beyond that smoke. He's hunting for Sonari. He knows that bomb's back there. At least he knows someone is back there. And Kaylee just waits for further contact.
They're both going to fade the smoke. They're boosting on top of it. This is mental. They're going to see the player towards the back of the pillar. They know exactly where Sonari is.
Swings up to fight.
No.
Chiron doesn't do anything with that boost. Lear will be known about and needs Sypho to support him. They heard the footsteps close to bomb site. They know there's a player up here. Kaylee going to try and strike back, but Sypho's timed himself well to take him aback. That bomb's going to escape the A bomb site. I don't think the CT saw him. He can rotate to B. No, they are going to go back for Sypho.
He's not hightailing it. He's going to stick here, but they've not moved the muscle. Sonari should be a dead man walking. Look at the setup.
Swings up, finds Sypho, but doesn't find the spray. Sypho, 2 kills to his name. An important one to take for Nemiga. Now only a couple of rounds away from closing out against Mana, eliminating them in the second cup of ECL Season 51.
It's such a ballsy play, by the way, because they had 2 players in towards middle in the meantime, and there's no mid presence. There's nothing going on in towards B. You going for that aggressive play in towards A is saying, bring it on. We want to fight you. We know this is not going to be just the space for us to take. It's not going to be empty. There's not going to be one person. There's probably going to be multiple. Kaylee pulling God's work to try and keep them in this one. And it's been a very valiant effort out of Mana all day long, but it might all go down in vain. Sypho opening kill onto Sonari. Pistols on the other side. Just the one hero rifle in the hands of Kaylee, but he's lost so many teammates already.
Trying to go for a fast split into the A-bomb site, and Kaylee had to play entry towards main. Instead, he's now going to play recovery. The kill found on Sawalio is a decent start of that, but he loses his last teammate of service. Now he's on for the ace. 1v4 at this moment in time. Khan closing in. US people now doesn't even need the big green gun. Do this with pistols only. And a map and series point for Nemiga. Elimination point for Mana.
This is a little bit tough. Especially with the resurgence towards the end of the first half. With the 5 rounds on the CT side. The T side start. The converted pistol round as well. First one of the series. It really felt like Mana put themselves in a good spot. Really felt like that would have been a competitive second half and potentially a moment to shine for the Balkans, but Nemiga once again able to pull off one ahead, and now they've got 5 opportunities to put an end to this. First one should be the best.
Lear. One of 2 men that were in mid. Sawalio's going to break away. Senna could see him as his smoke will start to fade. Just holds the angle, puts another one back. Deeper this time for the T's to try and take control. Lear just respects it, gives it up.
Ooh. Oper spotted. A little bit over 60 seconds on the clock. Sypho's going for the peak. Not ready for Kaylee. There goes the opening kill. Chiron, does he swing for the refrag? He seems to realize it's a little bit risky.
Considering it. Extend into 2 players, gets Kaylee. Chiron brings it back to a 4-on-4. The Orpa of Khan, meanwhile, watching mid, sees a shoulder out from Bledar and takes him. AK swing from Amar will strike back at main. Sawalio quickly deals with him, eliminates that threat towards the B main access. A could still be a target though, as that kill comes in. Sawalio is forced to turn his head as his Lee is supposed to get back away from the A main push that he's made. Hearing those footsteps, they can call that info back. They take their time with this, the CTs here. Moving up to site. Lear, HE, back away. Got plenty of util to support with. Sawalio's looking for the direct engagement though. Seeing where Sonari's at. Bomb plant from Serbo will come down safe. HE's up. Both CT players are low. And they can both fall quickly to the 2 trades back. And a 1 out of 5 taken by Mana on this return.
And of course it comes down because of a Sonari double kill. That should have been the end of it right there. Especially with the refrag. It's 2 versus 3. Khan just pulls out his pistol and starts running in towards middle. Low HP players on the remaining 2 as well. Lear with a full bout of util just couldn't get a favorable fight. Gets naded, gets tagged, gets killed with a nade in hand.
Mana. Well, respect to be broken bias despite that round win. They need to find the reset against the Nemiga though.
I'm here for it.
One more good round could do it. It's not impossible for them to take this back to overtime. Haven't quite been there so far in this best of 3. I've had a couple of potential moments. But nothing that's stuck all the way out. Maybe this one will. Mid searches from the T side will not be contested by the Nemiga cam. They will leave Khan's the AWP out towards camera, but that's as far as it will go.
No mid presence. That could be a bit of an issue. Even though you have Khan posted with the AWP, you still need to, I guess, retain control in towards A main. That's why we're seeing Sawalio deploy the smoke issue. As the moment that this smoke fades, they're still going to be very uncomfortable on A. So the B players, you feel like, need to be a little bit more proactive here.
Molly will drive the CTs back. Serber moving towards main, insinuating, forcing into the opening. He's going to try and force out a fight. Kill for Sawalio comes in well. Khan's all going to reposition. Leave camera opened up, but main has the bomb control. Sawalio's there to receive it. Sonari's going to get caught off guard. His spray transfer just comes up well, but not well enough. He's low HP and Sawalio can capitalize upon that. Yorpa and AK start moving, but Khan and Sawalio have their nerves marked, and they have their men down. Sawalio with a quadra to impress his way out of the series. 13-8, 2-1 for Nemiga. They will eliminate Mana from ECL.
It was such a good effort, such a valiant effort coming out of the Balkan side of things as well. Scenari and the boys putting up a fight to the side of Nemiga. This was supposed to be a clean 2-0 win, and it is a 2-1. Both these maps that they win as well, when you look at the score, it doesn't really feel like it was that competitive, but with Mana getting 5 rounds on the CT side of Anubis and 5 rounds on the T side of Mirage, definitely a lot more competitive. But unfortunately, this is where their miraculous run through the lower bracket of the ESL Challenger League ends. Nemiga will keep on fighting, and for Mana, this was all.
Indeed, it was a very impressive run overall. The capacity for them to press on in the way that they did from round 1 of that lower bracket, but it has to end at some point. In this case, it will not go much further than Nemiga, who will be taking on Sangul in the next round of the lower bracket in tomorrow's proceedings. All 4 best of 3s actually have concluded in today's proceedings, so it's interesting for Nemiga's part of things to find out who they're looking forward to tomorrow, as well as that TDK best in Harvu. So the Finns are out. Ex-Ruby lost to Los Cagutos, so TDK versus Los Cagutos will also round out the lower bracket proceedings. Plenty more action to come, and it is still heating up, you know, as I said before, the business end of the season of this cup, and with 8 teams left in play, there's still plenty to play for.
No, absolutely. And I feel like now we've seen that Nemiga are immortal as well, even though they were in such a good streak. Obviously, they did lose in the upper bracket as well, but a lot of these games that we're left with until the end of the cup, I feel like are going to be very close. There's a lot of teams that have a high ceiling, but a lot of teams that are volatile to some extent and could lose to teams that they're supposed to be beating in a much more comfortable fashion.
I mean, look, if Mana can take a map off of Nemiga, then that certainly goes to show exactly what can happen here in this bracket. So it's not over for them, of course. They'll be fighting for a stay-off elimination in the next round and for the rounds going forward, but it's all to play for in tomorrow's comeback at 7 p.m. CET for the European Series. And that really concludes our broadcast today, Ted. Have you had fun?
I have, yeah. I was thinking about staying silent after this question, but no, it was a great day, man. It was a great day.
Make it all
we got the 3rd map. This is what we wanted. We got an Anubis. We got to see some cool stuff coming out of Mana. They put up a fight to Nemiga, but in the end of the day, the favorite won. So I'm happy.
Well, that's not all we have on ECL. South America, North America action also taking place on ESL TV. for that. But the European divisions are back at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here very soon indeed.
Alright.
This one, okay.
What the hell is that?
Oh
my god.
Lean up, get his casualty! Oh! The transfer to the second head!
Sure, they don't have the possibility to play quickly, and that's a bit of a problem, because now you've lost these M4s. This is going mental.
Goes for that, killing to get down, he's a lot of damage. And none of those are kills, finally center, and Katie will drop. Sorry, I can't do it. Fine, excellent headshot, you're right.
Thank you.
Cypher needs to move closer, trying to get out to position, but got caught with his weapon.
Thank you, Alex.
They will fall together as Chiron finds Triple on the lineups. Bleedar's realised what's happening. He's going back for that bomb. His attention is drawn. You're right about that. He's tapping his way through, but the Orb going to watch for him. Land that leg shot. He's pulled attention away. He's somehow got that kill. Play the 1v1 fight with his current angles. Sualio fires back. But they continue their acceleration. They know it has to be an NB. Shot missed from the AWPs. He's flash blinded. Khan and Lear get those kills together. 4 versus 2 established. Should make it 1. No. Kaylee just about comes back on top in that one fight. The bomb plant can be secured. The Orpa leans up. Oh, Bleeder, no scope. But
Pistol's not really a force by.
it's a Serler getting nothing done for it. Sualio gets the kill. Khan inserts himself to his crack angle. He came close. Bomb control. Sualio is there to receive it. Sonari's going to get caught off guard. His free transfer just comes up well, but not well enough. He's low HP and Sualio can capitalize upon that. The Orpa and AK start moving, but Khan and Sualio have their nerves marked, and they have their men.